My best friend demanded I break up with my fiance because she's jealous of me.
Oh, so I guess I'll just marry you now. That's you called dibs? Sorry, I didn't know that.
What are we doing here? Hi, everyone. I, 21 female, cut contact with one of my closest childhood friends, Mary, 21 female, a few weeks ago. While I feel relieved she's out of my life, most of my family and mutual friends think I overreacted, and now I'm starting to second guess my decision. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Coffee Cat, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime. Send it in. So I'm going to put some rather irrelevant background information. We love useless details on this show. Mary and I practically grew up as sisters. I would say that's important details. We were neighbors, and our parents started arranging play dates for us before we could even walk. From kindergarten to secondary school, we did everything together. If I wasn't at her house, she was at mine. I trusted her completely and never thought of her as anything other than my best friend. Things changed when Mary moved away for university. At first, I missed her, but over time, I noticed how much easier life felt without her constant presence. Is this maybe a toxic friend that we just, had grandfathered in?
Now you're living life on Easy Street.
Ooh, Easy Street.
Yeah.
I love that.
No
street.
Mary.
Yeah. I wasn't being criticized, guilt-tripped, or forced to justify my choices anymore. It became clear how much control she'd had over me. Mary had a way of dominating every aspect of my life. She'd dismiss my hobbies or pressure me to quit them, and if she didn't like one of my friends, I'd have to cut ties. Whoa, you could call me a pushover, but when you grow up with someone like that, it's hard to see the manipulation for what it is. Things really came to a head when I met my now fiance, Dave, 27 male. He's amazing, kind, supportive, and everything I've ever wanted in a partner. We clicked instantly, and he's honestly the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Or so you think.
And I bet Mary hates him for it.
Mary wants him to go to the depths of H-E-double hockey sticks and never return.
It really does feel like this probably started as like a leader versus follower type dynamic. She was always following Mary's lead. And now that she's like, doing her own thing, Mary's like, no, my lackey.
Yes.
You were my Igor.
How can you be my mere sidekick
if
you are married to this man
who
gives you real attention and affection? Gotta love it. But, of course, Mary didn't approve. Dakota called it. Don't need a conspiracy theory to predict that one.
Yeah.
She immediately tried to plant seeds of doubt, saying he was too old, he'd cheat, he was just using me. Thankfully, for once, I didn't listen to her, and I'm so glad I didn't. In December, Dave surprised me with a dream vacation, and during the trip, he proposed.
Hey, I propose we get married.
Hey, I say yes.
Yay.
Yes.
And now we're married.
Now we're married.
Uh-oh.
It's beautiful. Don't tell Naima.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's going to be complicated for John. I have a girlfriend Fry.
She's here.
Now you're John. I have a husband Fry.
Oh, no.
Quick, divorce.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. Everything about it was perfect. He planned every little detail, and it was more magical than I ever could have imagined. I was over the moon, and I couldn't wait to share the news with everyone. Everyone including you-know-who. Naturally, I told Mary, expecting at least some excitement, but instead, she downplayed the entire thing. Again, downplayed her engagement to the man she loves. She nitpicked the proposal, saying how she would have done it differently and what could have been better. We need to give you some notes here. It stung, but I brushed it off and reminded her it was my proposal and not hers. A few weeks later, we met in person for the first time in months. That's when things completely fell apart. Out of nowhere, Mary told me, you should break up with Dave.
Proposal. Break up with your fiance so that I can manipulate you.
Ooh, a tempting proposal, sir. And what do I get out of this deal?
Nothing, and you can't say no.
Perfect. Manipulation achieved.
I'm sorry, you do get misery.
Oh, you're That's right. That's a good signing bonus. When I asked her why, her reasoning had nothing to do with me. Instead, she compared him to her boyfriend, Julian, 22 male, saying things like, Dave makes more money than Julian, and Dave can give you everything while I have to work for what I want.
What does that mean?
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh my God. Like the absolute logic disconnect there of like, so you want all your friends to be worse off than you is what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, don't marry your man because my man sucks.
And there really are people out here like that, dude. That's crazy.
It's clear that she wasn't concerned about me. She was just jealous. She couldn't handle the fact that for once, my life seemed better than hers. That was the breaking point for me. I told her to leave my house, and afterward, I sent a long message explaining how hurt and disappointed I was. I told her that her behavior was unacceptable and that I didn't want her to contact me ever again.
Hey, perfectly fine. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, at the very least, I'd be like, well, things were never the same.
Because remember, this is a lifetime of all of this manipulation and downplaying and insulting. So it's like, this is absolutely, it's not just this one incident. It is the straw that broke the camel's back. And like, yeah, they're young, but for your whole life, you feel that. Even at 21, you're like, yo, this is all I've ever known.
Just what a horrific thing to have a best friend who's actually been an op your entire friendship.
Dude.
Or at least the vast majority of it, I would say.
Majority. No, in diaper. She was like, I don't know if you would sip on that bottle because that bottle is better than mine.
Yes.
You should sip on the floor.
Dude, she's literally carried the toddler attitude of like, but your toy's better than mine. I want that one. All the way to 21. Crazy.
Come on. Since then, it feels like she's told everyone in our social circle. Mutual friends, even some family members have reached out saying I was too harsh and should have handled things differently. They said, that's just how Mary is. You've known her your whole life. She's always been in the spotlight and gotten what she's wanted. So then why can't OP have the spotlight for once in her life? Can you answer me that?
Who's defending this girl?
Who are you people?
Who's doing this? You know that's just how she is. Yeah, she's the worst.
Yes. Some even accused me of breaking her heart and told me it was wrong to choose my fiancé over a lifelong friend. Guys, you know what? Hey, thanks for telling me that. You're going to join Mary in no contact land. NC world. All right? That's where you're going.
Who are these people?
Even my own mother said she expected better of me. And that is what's making me question my decision. Did I overreact? Mary has been a huge part of my life for as long as I can remember. Sure, she has her flaws, but we've also shared countless good times and memories. Am I going to throw away years of friendship over this? Should I try and fix things, or is cutting her off the right choice? Since some people in the comments are claiming my story is fake, the classic answer, unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah.
I can't prove it to you, but honestly, what would be the point of making up a story and posting on Reddit? I've never used Reddit before, and I have no idea what karma is. Why would anyone want it? Gotta love it.
Gotta love that one.
But again, that's what a fake person would say. But hey, you know.
No one's gonna be like, to everyone saying that my story was fake, dang it, how'd you know?
You got me. Also, yes, I let AI correct my text, mainly because I was incredibly angry when I wrote it and just kept rambling. English is not my first language either. Combine these two things, and you can probably imagine my original text was all over the place. And for clarification, I don't know exactly what Mary told my friends and family, since most of the messages I received were pretty vague. I also didn't ask my mom what Mary said had happened. I was too angry to have a calm conversation after my mom told me I was being dramatic, which led to me yelling at her. All I know is that Mary admitted to asking me to break up with my fiance, but I don't know if she explained why she wanted me to. Lastly, my parents raised Mary like a second daughter, and she's always incredibly kind in front of them. I guess that's why she didn't believe me. Maybe there's just denial because it's easier for them to handle. I don't know. But I get it. Hearing something bad about someone you like for the first time can make you want to deny it. And we have some relevant comments from people. But first, I have to get the most relevant comment in my heart. And that is from Dakota Payne.
Aw, living in your heart now because I'm your husband.
That's right. Oh, don't. Shh.
I don't think there's any point in trying to talk to Mary. I think you cut this person off to the, if she wasn't going around trying to actively manipulate your friends and family, that would be one thing. But the fact that she did that, the fact that she immediately went and told your friends probably a bunch of lies to make you look bad, because who in their right mind is going to support Mary on this? Like, the only people who are going to support that are people who are being fed misinformation.
Apparently, like almost all of her friends and family and her own mother.
Maybe does the fiance secretly suck and we just don't know? Is the fiance actually even worse than Mary?
That would be such a crazy plot. I will say, to your theory, I'll just say it and you guys will make up your own minds. OP 21, Dave fiance is 27.
Okay.
Other people can,
little gappage there.
Little gappage.
Nothing too obscene.
We're not out of that system that people do to determine or whatever, I think. So, I cannot imagine that Mary is the one that's in the right here. I just can't fathom it.
No, it's very clearly like she literally outright said, like, I don't like your husband. He's better than mine. And but the context of that is he just makes more money. Cut Mary off and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell your side of the story to the people who are hitting you up. And at this point, I think you've already cut Mary off. I don't think you owe her any more conversations or explanations. That's my perspective.
Completely agreed. But we've got some relevant comments. So commenter number 1, not the a-hole. It's really easy for everyone else to tell you to keep putting up with Mary's BS because they aren't the ones putting up with Mary's BS.
Exactly.
They want you to fall back in line so they don't have to deal with hissy for the hissy fit that she's throwing. She wants to steal your peace like she has done your whole life. You are the only person who can protect it. Wow, was that on an OK Fortune? Because that was wisdom. OP replies, my parents basically raised her and view her as their daughter. I guess their main issue with me cutting contact is they won't get to see their second daughter as often anymore, or at least not without getting mad at me. When I was younger, I never saw Mary's behavior as something bad, and I don't know if my parents were aware of her pushing me into certain directions since she's been incredibly kind to them all the time. And I didn't really say, hey, I quit gymnastics because Mary told me to, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, I'll keep my opinions about gymnastics to myself. But yeah, it's like if your friend Mary is like a bad influence on you. Gymnastics get a lot of people hurt. One of my very good friends broke her back doing gymnastics, and it has impacted her life forever. So it's like, is it worth it? I don't know. It's one of the most exploitive sports.
What about CrossFit?
CrossFit's not a sport. It's like an activity.
Dude, Riley might just jump over this table and go all CrossFit.
Oh yeah. What are you gonna do? Like,
Time out.
50 body weight pull-ups on me? Like, what do you?
Is weightlifting a sport?
Yes.
Is gymnastics a sport?
Yes.
Okay.
Then
That is
CrossFit is
no.
Is running a sport?
Yes.
All right, cool. So
CrossFit is definitely a sport in that.
CrossFit does all three of those things, and you're telling me it's not a sport?
CrossFit doesn't do gymnastics.
It's a triple
Yes,
sport.
it does.
No, it doesn't.
They do walking handstands. Have you not ever seen a CrossFit Games?
That's not really gymnastics.
That is gymnastics.
It's more like dexterity,
Okay,
which is an element of gymnastics.
Dude. Okay.
Are they doing double backflips? Are they doing vaults? Are they
They're doing muscle
in between?
like
Are they
muscle
doing the
ring-up
parallel
pull-up,
bars?
Muscle pull up.
Are they doing the walking beam?
Yeah.
Are they doing the
sometimes.
rings?
Well, people have broken vital bones in this sport. The structure, the integral structure of this relationship has cracked in half. It is completely broken to smithereens.
Sorry, I don't know how we just got on that, right?
And
Mary sucks, and don't let anyone tell you she doesn't, even if they're like her half pretend parents or whatever. I don't know.
That's right.
Like, you know what you know. Don't let anyone tell you you don't know it now.
Stick with your gut, OP. It's right. It's on the money. It's on the money. but we have an update. Quick sum up because this update is quite long. I visited my parents today and found out that Mary told them that Dave was cheating on me.
Okay, so that would make some sense right there, right?
The lies you said, you literally exactly what Dakota said.
Unless
remember.
Mary knows Dave's cheating because she's doing the bounce chicka down.
Oh, because it's with Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
So OP, like, I thought there was something wrong with Dave, so I went ahead and like pursued to see if he was cheating on you, and he's cheating on you. Oh my god, that's what she did.
Yes, absolute facts. My dad ended up believing me, but my mom is still on the fence and unsure of what to believe. But believe your freaking flesh and blood daughter.
Yeah.
We visited my parents around noon today, talked about everything, and tried to understand what exactly had happened. Turns out Mary really was telling a made-up story while sprinkling some truth in there. You see, apparently she told people, or at least my parents, that Dave was cheating on me with a coworker of his, which is why she told me to break up with him. She said that this affair had been going on for at least 4 months and that she knows about it because she had seen them together at a cafe in a different city a few months ago. Let's assume this would be true. Why didn't she inform me and my parents sooner? A good question.
This is when you start asking her questions, right? See, what cafe? What city?
Yeah.
What time of day?
Yeah. What did you get?
What did she look like?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can you drive us there now? Let's drive there.
How
right
do you
now.
know that it was a cheating thing and he wasn't just like having coffee with somebody?
Yeah.
Did you follow him around?
What's the details?
Oh.
Like, imagine your best friend, back then, boyfriend, is cheating on her and you know about it. Wouldn't you tell her right away?
Exactly, yes.
That's
the
logical.
answer is yes.
That's logic. This is also why I can't understand why my parents, especially my mom, would believe her in the first place. According to her story, I got incredibly mad, got her out of there, and haven't spoken to her since. Now, some of it is true, as you should know from my original post. For one, her telling me to break up with my fiance, as well as me getting her out of my house and cutting contact. However, the whole story about Dave cheating on me is something I've heard about him for the first time today. And plus, it's completely made up. Just to remind you, she told me to break up with him because Dave's a better boyfriend than Julian, her boyfriend. By the way, I also feel sorry for him. I can't imagine how she must push him around.
Yeah, well, thoughts and prayers for Julian.
Dude, thoughts and prayer. Like, if this is how she manipulates her friend, dude, the person who's supposed to be her partner, I don't even want to begin to know. My mom said that she didn't believe Dave was cheating on me, but was disappointed in me for how I handled the situation, especially since I couldn't have known if Mary was telling the truth.
What the hell does that mean? I couldn't. Well, you also couldn't have known if she was telling a lie. What?
Great point. You accepted what she said at face value. Actually, it's yeah.
You just, that was a complete nothing burger of a sentence right there.
Nothing burger.
Just air. There was
Yeah, it wasn't even a fake one. It was just nothing.
Nothing.
non-existent point.
Nothing. She thought that cutting off my best friend for being concerned about me was too harsh and that we should have talked it out. I've also assumed that she's scared to lose longtime friends when I cut contact with Mary, which also turned out to be true. Mary told her mother what had happened, who just so happened to be best friends with my mom. It's just all interwoven and entangled. And according to my dad, Mary's mother is mad at me for treating her daughter badly and accused my mom of not raising me right.
Oh boy.
So the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Mary's mom accused.
Yeah, Mary's
You
mom.
mean the mom who didn't actually raise Mary because Mary was basically raised by OP's mom?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe also shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
I'd be like, my left pinky toe is a better mom than you'll ever be.
What is that?
This one.
What did you do?
What?
Nothing. I'm not saying it. Nothing. Okay, now I have to say it. Riley changed the TLDR to a phone number and said, call Dakota.
This is your
No, he
phone
didn't.
number.
You're
right. He didn't do that.
He didn't do that.
Dang it. You made me say it out loud. Dang it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is a conspiracy. Also, I don't know whose phone number that is.
Well, We'll find out, but there's nothing there, so there's nothing to find out. But anyways, after my mom explained what Mary had told her, I went on to tell her what really went down. The jealousy, the manipulation, the lies of it all. Basically, the things that I've said in my original post, plus much more. She didn't believe me at first and said that I was blowing things out of proportion and that Mary had good intentions, but simply didn't know how to communicate them well. I showed her some text messages between Mary and me, told her about past incidences, and my fiance tried to back me up as best as he could since my mom wasn't listening at all and kept defending Mary. Because again, the mom's probably like still in like, are you a cheater? Are you not? So,
it's weird not to believe your own daughter, dude.
Right?
So weird.
So crazy. To say I dug deep and told my parents about all sort of things is an understatement. We even went as far to tell them about a spicy sleep incident. So yeah, I'd leave out any details.
Nice. Way to be thorough.
I got full details, boy.
I got the deets.
Yup.
On
Put
these
the D in those details.
Dang, that rhymed. I can't say it. I could say it. The deets on them nuts. I was going to say teats.
Oh.
Dang it.
Got him.
It's more of like a farm animal kind of description.
But my dad believed me from the get-go. But my mom kept going back to how great of a person Mary is and how she just wants the best for me. She also kept saying how I've never had an issue with Mary in the past. Not true. And that I'm now creating unnecessary drama because of a misunderstanding. Maybe I'm creating unnecessary drama. Maybe not. In my opinion, it is necessary, though. I've let her do whatever she wanted for way too long. At some point, my dad simply told her to shut up and stop making excuses for Mary. Daddy, the first person to speak a lick of logic in this whole thing. That wasn't like OP or her fiance.
Yeah.
Come on. That wasn't like directly involved. So I at least have one parent on my side. My dad's always been a very non-confrontational person and never really stood his ground, especially when it came to my mom. But I found out that he thought that Mary didn't have a good influence on me growing up. See, Daddy knew. Daddy understood. He peeped that. He apparently also told my mom that he wanted to limit the contact between Mary and me when we were younger, but my mom didn't see the point and let the friendship continue. Ooh. I'm trying, guys. Hold on. Let me get some sips of this amazing matcha made by Sophia. That was so great.
Yeah, this girl's exhausting, dude. I don't know why. She's got the wool pulled over your mom's eyes, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your papa.
Listen to your papa.
Yeah,
Listen
dude.
to your papa.
I completely agree.
Why? What kind of sick game? Why can't you just sit down and watch like freaking Love is Blind on Netflix? Why can't you watch Love Island? Why can't you just do that instead of like actually making it happen?
No, she has to destroy lives. She's the CEO of that. Chief Executive Officer.
The destroyer.
The
Destroyer.
The booty destroyer. Shout out to a clip coming out about Riley soon.
Oh.
What is
What is that coming out?
You don't get to know that.
Wait till you see it, Dakota. It's good
Oh,
stuff.
I saw it in real time.
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
Where were you?
Where were you the day that the butt destroyer landed his cheeks on this planet? Anyways, so basically, this whole issue could have been avoided if my mom would have put her friendship with Mary's mother aside for her own family. Great. In the end, my mom said that she'd speak to Mary and ask her if what I've said is true, which honestly pissed me off. After everything I've told her, she still wants to crawl back to Mary because apparently what her actual daughter says isn't enough. She tried to justify it since Mary is her daughter too, and it's unfair to just hear one side of the story. All right. But you already had a heartfelt confession with Mary in which she was lying to you completely. After she said all of that started a screaming match. I know, not healthy, but it honestly felt so dang good to just let it all out.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes
you gotta release.
It's you can't bottle it and unfreaking load.
Yeah, we'll call it. Yeah, I'll let that one. Slide.
Unload.
Slipped past me.
To say that I cried heavily out of frustration after talking to my mom is an understatement. The story is full of understatements. And I'm so glad that my fiance was with me because I sure as heck wouldn't have been able to drive home safely. But on a good note, I got ice cream and we watched my favorite show when we arrived back home, which made things better. Lol. I have not told my mom that I'm considering not inviting her to my wedding. All right, wait.
I mean, yeah.
I think not inviting the mom.
Yeah, because if you think that if I tell you my fiance, my husband's not cheating on me, and then you're like, yeah, but is he though? I'd be like, all right, that's weird. Why are you believing this low down, dirty scoundrel's words about my husband? She literally told me she's jealous of my husband.
Come on.
Why would she be jealous? She's jealous of the guy cheating on me
with her loser
Use
boyfriend,
your brains.
who's a lemur. You know, thinks he's all
King
that.
Julian, he's a king though. He's a king.
But he's too braggadocious with it. You know,
I doubt it. She's probably got that really stifled.
Ooh, you're right.
He is just a smoldering little ember of his previous lemur glory.
That's right. That is absolutely true. Now, we're not planning to get married until next year anyway, so there's still enough time for her to make up her mind about who she'd rather believe. Plus, I don't want to create too big of a rift between me and her. As for mutual friends who took Mary's side, I've decided not to respond to them. I'm not sure if Mary told them the same story that she told my parents, but I honestly don't care. I don't want to see Mary ever again, or at least not in the foreseeable future, and mutual friends would make that a whole lot harder than it needs to be. Besides, they're not my only friends or close friends of mine. Dave's also okay with me not running after them to clear his name. If this whole situation should leave this friend group and turn public, I'm going to contact them. But right now, we don't see any point in dealing with Mary's minions. That's something someone called these friends in the comments below my original post, and I loved it.
Mary's minions munching mung beans.
There we go.
Mary's minions munching mung beans.
Mignoy?
Oh.
Right now, I'm just hoping that Mary messes up her story somehow and that my mom is going to see her for who she really is. While she's been acting absolutely disgusting towards me and basically chooses Mary over me in this situation, I'm trying. I think I can look past it. It's my mom after all. Cutting off friends is one thing, but cutting off close family, well, that's a whole different story, and I'll try to mend things the best I can. If she's going to stay loyal to Mary, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's not something I have to think about right now. Once again, thank you for your positive and helpful comments. I've read all of them, but they keep coming in a rapid speed, and I really don't know how to respond to most. Also, for those who went through something similar, I am so sorry that this happened to you, and I'm incredibly glad, as far as the comments go, that all of you could find peace in your decisions to cut off toxic friends out of your life. And we have a second update. But first question for you, Sir Dakota, and everyone in chat, by the way, please share your thoughts on this below. Do you think OP made the right moves?
Yes!
Cutting off Mary, everything.
Yes!
Yeah.
I wish I could. Sometimes we have friends for a long time, and then one day you realize, like, oh, this person's never actually been good for me. I've had that before. And it doesn't necessarily even make that person like a irredeemable monster or anything, right? It's like Mary is just you know. Mary needs to sort out her own stuff and figure out what makes her the way that she is. But first, she needs to be able to look in the mirror and be like, oh, I am so jealous and bitter. Why is that? But yeah, no, you've made you're not responsible for following her on that journey. And now that you've seen the light, it's time for you to
almost close, but no cigar. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that in this case, there's many cases where there's a friend that like the alignment just isn't there anymore, and you just kind of like politely, for lack of a better word, you go on your better ways, wish each other luck into the sunset. This is a case where the person is absolutely a freaking monster. So most definitely cut her off. I will say on the mom, and curious on your take, I don't know if in my mind it'd be like, okay, boom, I am as of now banishing you from the wedding, at least in my mind. I would maybe put her in purgatory. In the in she's in court, to
the moon, so to speak.
To the moon, yes, to the moon, so to speak, to see her behavior over this next year, to see if she can come back around, because maybe it's just been so long with her view of this, and it's like you see this person as a kid, you see them grow up, and they present this thing to you, so maybe it's just so hard for her to believe. I don't know, everything changed. But then on the other hand, OP is her literal flesh and blood daughter. So
maybe she also just didn't like the boyfriend from the beginning. But it's got to be a thing. OP talked about how Mary would act one way around to others, right? So she's masking.
Yes.
And that can be really hard to get people to see, It's like people who have like, they'll like tell you like a horror story about their parents, and then you'll be like, but they're so great. And it's like, yeah, it's because you're at my house.
Yes. You're seeing the best of them.
Right. So it's the same thing with like Mary, where it's like, yeah, I know she seems great, but it's like, she's going around spreading lies about my fiance because she's literally like mad that he makes more money than her husband, which is insane to do as a best friend. As an enemy, that is that's behavior of an enemy.
Yes. Yes.
Not a friend.
Not friendship behavior at all. But we have a second update.
Whoosh, let's go.
I just want to say this in advance. I don't know if my dad was telling the full truth.
Oh?
Oh.
Well, oh. Okay.
I do believe him. But he might have exaggerated or left things out. It's entirely possible that he lied to a certain extent. I personally don't think that. But then again, most of the things he told me yesterday, I've heard about for the first time, and they make me seem incredibly innocent. Maybe he was lying. I don't know. This whole situation just makes me question who I can trust in general. So we had dinner with my dad last night, and it went pretty well overall. We mainly talked about my mom and Mary. Apparently, my mom had always been concerned about what others thought about her, but when she met Mary's mother, it reached a whole new level. Mary's mother often criticized my mom for all sorts of things.
Dude,
it's crazy.
no
I
way.
feel like I've heard something like that before.
Hey, do you know what they say about apples?
Oh, what's that?
That they don't fall too far from the tree.
So they go from the tree, but they're not too far.
Two apples from the same tree.
Two apples.
They land in the same place. Just
in the
about.
same spot.
So these two apples are appling. But they're unappealing. It's true.
Michael Scott. Yeah. She was criticizing all sort of things about her parenting style, her clothes, her house, you freaking name it. Whenever it was something that my mom could change, she changed it immediately to appease Mary's mother. Don't like that. That's also why I was put into dance classes when I was younger, because Mary's mother signed up Mary for dance classes, one of many examples. So yeah, as most comments suggested, she was being pushed around by Mary's mom. Is she a narcissist? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. One thing to know about Mary's family is that they do a dang good job of appearing perfect, quote unquote. Happy family, nice jobs, nice house, etc., etc. I guess my mom bought their persona and tried to copy it. I'm not going to trash talk the whole family here, but let's just say that they have just as many flaws as any other family. We've seen it. We've seen it before.
Let's be honest, guys.
Mm.
There's nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Body's perfect.
I didn't know for a split second what you're saying, and then I fully understood what you were saying.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, man. So let's just live our lives and not try to convince our best friends to break up with the love of their lives because we're jealous for the stupidest reasons ever.
Can you imagine being married? That's gotta be so exhausting.
Bro. Like, the joy that we get in being happy for our friends and like whatever good stuff is going on in their life. Like, could you imagine trading that joy for this?
For Julian.
For Julian? Julian! Julian!
I wish I could do the Julian voice. I feel like I'll get in trouble.
Dude, no?
The King Julian voice?
It's too loud? Or it's too...
I don't know. It's
once
too...
you let it out, it's...
I think I'm too pale. I don't know.
Because he's from Madagascar.
Anyway.
Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. At least you can take solace in that. Probably sucks worse to be Mary. But she probably doesn't even know it. That's just how she is.
She thinks she's the greatest, but, you know, she said. Loki.
She said.
Also, my mom was apparently talking crap about me to my dad, comparing me to Mary in basically every way, and she even said multiple times that she wished Mary was her real daughter.
Dude, all right. Hey, guess what, Mom? Now you're definitely not going to the wedding.
Yeah, I was about to say, remember that purgatory, the moon, the courtroom proverbial thing we were talking about? Yeah, you have fully been sent to the sun. You are not going to the wedding.
Yeah,
bye, Mommy.
You can go to Mary's wedding. She marries
Right.
King Julian. Sad King Julian.
Sad King Julian.
King Julian without his crown. Oh, people are telling me to do it. I'm still not going to do it. King.
I don't know what
Nope,
Riley's
nope.
doing, but
Riley's cooking up over there. Riley's
he's
cooking.
not doing anything.
Riley's cooking something.
So she believes that I took away her chance to live her dream life. What fun fact, but according to my dad, my mom's apparently huge on family. She's always wanted at least 4 children. Ironic, I know. She had a pretty traumatic birth experience with me, and doctors told her that she should not try for children again. And yeah, apparently she's blaming me for that too.
Sorry, Mom, that you... No, that might be rude. That might be rude. I'm actually going to pull that one back.
There we go. I
say,
got you.
That's me reeling it back
We're
in,
back.
folks.
We're bringing it back, baby.
Yeah, but she should get 14. Number 14.
Number 14.
Wow.
Wow.
Telling your own daughter that, like, she
wish
ruined your
someone else
life
was
and
your daughter?
she wishes that she wasn't your daughter. Yeah, you're... Bye-bye.
Disgusting. A bit of a TMA right here, but I've mentioned in the comments a few times already, so whenever, I can't get pregnant, like at all, which means she luckily won't get any grandchildren from me. I guess she sticks so close to Mary and Mary's mother because she hopes to be a grandma to Mary's potential children. Ugh. That's honestly so creepy and messed up in my opinion, but well, we're talking about my mom here.
Why don't you just adopt her? Huh? Why don't you adopt her? Huh?
If you love her so much, why don't you marry her?
You
could.
Hey.
You could.
Yeah, her name's Mary. Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Mary marries Mary marriage. It's like that water buffalo sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, poor
That one.
Julian still.
Poor
Julian.
bro, he's still poor and has a terrible girlfriend.
Let me get some fists in the chat for Julian.
Stay strong, brother.
Stay strong, Julian.
We're here for you. So I also feel the need to clarify that I didn't know any of that. My mom never said anything negative about me to my face. Sure, there were some comparisons here and there, but nothing major or something that had an impact on me. It had always just been general stuff that parents tend to do, comparing grades, behavior, skills, etc. Which I'm sorry, but low key, I don't even know that that's normal parenting.
Sounds abnormal.
I mean, maybe it's like, why did Tommy get an A in math and you got an F? I guess there's that.
I mean, but that's less. Is that?
It's less about the person and more about proving the point.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I feel like that can be sometimes
like a parenting thing.
Yeah,
the grades.
I can say it on TV.
I guess. Yeah.
Maybe not real life.
It's like the stability of the home lends to the success in the classroom.
Something like that. But she's also never directly blamed me for her inability to have any more children and never said anything bad about me not being able to conceive. This is all just stuff she's apparently said behind my back. She's most definitely was not the best mom ever, but she wasn't horrible either. Just a person who, in my opinion, shouldn't have had a child in the first place. Man, and you know what? That's a very objective, it's like, hey, this is a human who just shouldn't have had a child.
I think you have the most important or the most relevant perspective on that, seeing as you're her daughter. You're like,
this is true.
Given my experience, really feel like this lady shouldn't have had kids.
AKA me.
And how's she going to be like, you've ruined my life. You prevented me from having children, which first of all, it was an issue with you. And second of all, have you heard of this thing called adoption?
What? Adoption?
No.
Adoption? Adoption?
Yeah, adoption.
I got one of those.
Yeah, you're complimenting my legs?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's, your mom is not right.
That's stupid. So my dad admitted that he'd considered divorcing her a few times, but never went through with it because he was scared that my mom would get primary custody. He's currently considering it again. So let's see how that goes. Ooh, potential update. As for why he never stood up to my mom, he genuinely didn't have a reason for it. He knew that my mom's never said anything like the things above to my face, so he didn't think that that he should to me, at least not until I moved out.
Wait, so he knew that that's how the mom felt?
Yes.
Oh my God, how do you not? Oh, now I'm like, oh. I mean, he did it because he was like, that's such an impossibly hard thing to tell your daughter, but it's like, you need to have that as a discussion with your wife and be like, hey, look, we need to talk because I can't be hearing this come out of my wife's mouth. I love my daughter.
Yes.
And you are making me kind of hate you, I would assume.
Yeah, he considered divorce multiple times and is now like actively being like, yo, should I just get divorced now?
Should have done that probably earlier.
Yeah, I mean, he was worried about primary custody, which I totally understand. But also, is there a world, and this is just to get the thought out, this is also maybe bad because it's like, let's say hypothetically they split and then he's like, hey, I wanted to sit down and be honest and share with you some of the things child appropriate, maybe in a way that's like won't hurt her as much as possible, why I broke up. But then also that can look bad as like trying to make the mom look bad. And so that's a tough one. If anything, get divorced just for you because you will not be your happiest, best self to be there and present for your kid if you're literally like living with the person that you're just like, ugh, I want to be married to this woman. It's a tough one. He didn't engage in these types of conversations with my mom and kept telling her to stop every time, which caused a lot of fighting between them. I knew that their marriage was messed up, but I always thought this had different reasons. Also, my mom reached out to my mother-in-law and complained about Dave, how he changed me and stuff, referring to me cutting off Mary and choosing my fiance over my best friend. My mother-in-law, who's an absolute angel, by the way, simply asked her why she's discussing this with her since Dave and I are adults. And there's no need to contact her for it.
Yeah, dude.
W mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law's like, hi, are you confused? These are not children. They're adults.
I mean, OP and best friend are 21. Not to say that's not adult, but also to say that, college age.
I mean, they're young. They're not children.
But they're not babies.
But like, you also can't just be like, I'm telling your mom.
Yes. Yeah. That is literally zero excuse. I'm sorry. In all these stories, even with the terrible teenagers, I'm like, I never knew anyone that was this demented or this whatever.
Yeah.
In the most extreme cases. Anyways, my mom also told her that Mary said that Dave is cheating on me. She then simply told my mom, sounds like Mary's projecting, and hung up. Fire. I'm honestly so pissed that my mom tried to involve her in the situation, and I can't help but wonder if she tried to create conflict between my mother-in-law and my fiance. Maybe she genuinely believes Mary and wanted to warn my mother-in-law, but I guess that would be wishful thinking. For some background, my mother-in-law was a single mom because her ex-boyfriend, Dave's father, cheated on her shortly after giving birth. As you might be able to imagine, she hates cheaters with a burning passion, and my mom obviously knew that. So yeah, I guess my mom talked to Mary, who doubled down, and my mom decided to believe her. I was expecting that this would happen, but honestly, I'm really disappointed. I'm not even sad, angry, or anything, just absolutely disappointed and confused. I am currently considering sending her one single last text before cutting her off for now, but I don't know if I should give her the pleasure of receiving an explanation.
I think you should probably not even like do a text. I think you should like write a letter or something. Like, I don't know. Something that I feel like a text isn't as cathartic. If you're gonna like not have a direct conversation, I feel like the letter will be more effective for you to be able to let go.
There definitely is something about the letter that is like, there's more emotional intention.
It's more personal.
It's more personal. Yeah, it kind of has that factor about it. That I like.
Holds a little more weight.
And you can send that to her while having her completely blocked on your phone.
Yes.
We love that. I'm still on the fence about cutting ties with her in general, mainly for my dad's sake. Their marriage is rocky already, and although he's considering divorcing her, I'm not sure if he'll actually go through with it. Keeping in contact with one parent while not talking to the other one must put a whole lot of stress on the parents you're still in touch with. And I honestly don't want to worsen my dad's life at home any further. It's just so crazy how I've lost so many people who I considered important to me in such a short amount of time. The whole situation also made me question other people, like my dad. A whole lot. And there were so many people in my life throughout all the years and nobody said anything. Why didn't my grandparents step in, or my aunt, or family friends? I can't imagine that they didn't know about any of it, but then again, I didn't either. You were also a child, so I'll give you a little bit of a
catch a break there.
Catch a break.
Yeah.
I also have no idea why I never noticed that my mom held some sort of resentment towards me. Shouldn't I have noticed? I mean, I've been living with her under one roof for 18 years, yet I never noticed / imagined that she actually doesn't like me. Also, yes, Reddit has become my new diary. LOL. And we got some relevant comments.
Lean on your husband. Lean on your husband and your good mother-in-law in this time of chaos and strife within your own family. Like, clearly.
Build a new circle of people who are, you know what? I bet Dave's mutuals, maybe mom knows, I know there's the age difference, but like, I don't know, go close, build a circle like in the.
This is, just a huge, hot, flaming mess. And now it's like the dad is being called into question because it's like, okay, dad, you knew that mom hated me my whole life and you never said anything? That's going to make me raise an eyebrow too. Once the truth comes out, I'm going to be like,
yeah.
You were not thinking of me. You were thinking of yourself. I'm going to say that. That's my take. You didn't want to have the hard, because that's a hard conversation, but she deserves to know, hey, your dynamic with your mom's going to be funny because she has all of this unresolved stuff that's causing her to feel these negative things about you. And make it clear, this is not your fault.
Yes.
Your mother has her own issues.
Yep.
These are outside of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to let you know this because it's undoubtedly going to affect you, like how it is right now in this story.
Also, age appropriate, like could throughout the journey, was there maybe a way of telling her in an age appropriate way? Or we do the same thing that we do when you're a third party catching someone cheating, which is you tell her, or I will.
True.
Right?
But I don't think it's hard to compare those contexts. It's not really the same. I think in my head it's like you try to work through that issue together as like husband and wife, or as whatever, as partners. You try to work through this, and if she cannot overcome these thoughts or has no desire to, or then I think it's like, all right, well, I can't logically still be with someone who hates my daughter. Yeah,
and the chances of her going from, oh yeah, I hate my daughter. I wish it was this other chick, Mary, to, you know what? I said that about you and I was wrong. And,
Yeah, good luck convincing me of that after Mary was kept around like a second daughter my whole upbringing.
Ooh.
That's the crazy part is it's like, not only is she's like, hey, I wish Mary was my daughter, but it's like, yo, she was low-key. She was. You raised her like one. It's just gross. It's horrific.
We can logically say that that's just freaking messed up.
Yes, it's not good.
Messed up.
Very bad.
But we have some relevant comments. Comment number 1, yikes, sounds like the real issue is your mom trauma dumping to anyone that will listen, interjecting herself into areas of your life she has no right to be in, and blaming you for decisions only she can make. It's good to hold doubts if you've only heard one side of the story. Have you confronted Mary about these allegations? I don't know if I'm just half asleep or it's not written in the description, but sounds like everything about your mom and Mary may have been delayed by your dad. Verify your intel. Don't just take his word for it. Can you ask your mother-in-law if she had a call from your mother? Have you spoken to Dave? OP responds. I didn't talk to Mary to confirm it. However, my mom was the one who brought up that Mary told her that Dave was cheating. My mother-in-law called us and said that my mom called her. And yes, I've talked to Dave. He knows everything that's going on. And there's an update number 3.
Un poco update.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Obi?
Small update.
A small update.
Small update.
Yeah, we're getting to the close to the end of the saga. Do we go no contact on mom right now?
Yes.
Or no?
No contact, I think. I don't know. I just can't personally. I can't. I don't think hearing the sentence, I wish this other person was my daughter, who's like also not just like another person, like a person who's actively like at this point been revealed to be my enemy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'll do you the favor and I'll make it so that you don't ever have to have me in your life anymore.
Not to it's still horrendous either way you slice or dice it, but I believe the quote of I sometimes wish Mary was my daughter was from when they were like growing up as kids, and she didn't say that recently. But still, saying that about your freaking child, especially a younger child.
Yeah, I was about to say that actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then like probably like having the epiphany, like that hits you when you're like, bing, like you're like 20, 21, and you're like, oh my God, my mom said that she wished I wasn't her daughter?
And that is exactly what Opie's having.
Whoa. And she wishes it was the other girl who's like actively trying to ruin my life by getting me to split with my fiance and lie to me and tell me he's cheating on me?
I'm the daughter with a friend, but you want my friend as your daughter? Mom? No. But we're going to get into update number 3. Do we predict?
Oh, I predict.
I'm trying to see what we...
I predict. I predict.
Hit me with it.
Mom and dad, gone.
Kaputs.
Done.
Yes.
The more I think about it, the more I'm upset at the dad, too.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, I can't imagine it.
He might have. I think it was just the start of his conversations. It's possible that he did defend her more than of what we've read so far, but if it seems like he basically didn't defend her that much. And generally, OP was like, he never really stood up for himself. That leads me to believe he didn't stand up to her. But let's see. Maybe we're wrong. Update number 3. This is just going to be a small update since not much has happened, but I still want to share this because I think it's quite ironic. It's also pretty late and I'm staying at a hotel right now, so sorry if some stuff doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I just had a gig tonight with Mary's ex-boyfriend.
Yes!
Ex-boyfriend Julian.
Yes! Julian, yes!
Who showed up after the show. Yes, ex-boyfriend. He came up to me and told me that he broke up with her this morning. He then got free drinks for the rest of the night, and we had an amazing time at the after party. Lol. I've already mentioned this in the comments, but I've told mutual friends who asked, not those who attacked me, what really went down between Mary and me. I guess they've told other mutual friends and it got around to Julian. He asked me if her story is true, and Mary apparently got really defensive. And after some back and forth, she called him an option that she's keeping around until Dave's single or she finds someone better.
Knew it.
Is this person like, does her brain not connect properly to her mouth and stuff? Like,
It's broken.
She's like, yeah, I want you to break up with your boyfriend because he's better than mine.
and then you tell your boyfriend,
Nah, I'm just keeping you around until Dave's available.
be like, okay, bye.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Dude, I stopped seeing a girl because she said, I think I'll keep you around. Like I was like a little trinket. And that's when I was like, oh, that's what you think? Okay, goodbye. Like, say that full with your chest.
With your chest.
Oh, yeah, I'm just
with
keeping
the mommy
you around
milkers.
for now until Dave's available.
Mhm.
And then what did you expect?
And then I'll slide on in. It's all my milky goodness.
Did you say that with the milkers?
Who said that?
That's
Who said that?
amazing.
Say it with your milkers.
Say it with your milkers.
Come on. Squeeze the truth out of those bad boys. Come on now. So he dumped her right there and then. Whoo! Mary must have spiraled after that because she texted me over a new Instagram account that I've ruined her life.
Oh, yeah. What, did she possess you and say that to your boyfriend?
Right. Dude.
You idiot.
I don't believe in karma, but this honestly made my day. By the way, if you want to have your day made every single day, what can they do, Dakota?
All you have to do is go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts or any podcast platform that you use
And search OK Storytime.
and then you'll find full episodes with stories like this one.
Mm-hmm.
2,000 episodes. 8 trillion hours.
Verified. It's a true number.
So yeah, okay, you listen to your heart's content. Even if we're not live at the moment, you know?
It'll be there. But Dakota, we are close to the end of the saga here. Oh, we are close to the end of the saga here. And I think I'm feeling good about the path that we're on. We are basically by default cutting out all of the people from our life that we need to be, aka everyone who's on Mary's side, including, of course, Mary.
Yes.
We are learning the truth about mom. We are even learning the truth about dad, getting in, you know, with a clearer picture, we will see how involved we want to be with them. You know, mom, maybe nothing. And then dad, maybe something.
I think dad can go to the moon.
Dad can go to the moon.
Realize, like, was I being a weak man? Was I being a coward?
Yeah, maybe say like OP, like, hey, you know, I'm hurt that you didn't defend me more, and you know, I want to have someone in my corner, like clearly mom isn't, so but could you, you know, maybe put in an effort and give me that that promise that
I just see like the two different like sides of the coin of his decisions, which is like you do what he did, which ends up here, right? And now Mary's in like her early 20s being like, oh, my mom doesn't even like me. Oh, my
it'll
mom
all come out eventually.
My mom like actively prefers this other person who is also my enemy now, clearly, instead of me. Cool. And has openly been like, I wish that she wasn't my daughter, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, as the dad and a husband, it's like, I think that's the moment where you're like, I can't do this, and if you don't want your daughter, I'm gonna go find a woman who does appreciate her, and I'm not gonna have her raised in an environment where she's gonna not have I would rather her not have a mother who nothings her, rather than have her be around this mom who like secretly feels like she wish she didn't have her.
Absolutely. If he had divorced, what he would have been able to control, at least more than is what happened, is having Mary and Mary's mom involved and spreading their toxicity for years. Like Opie said, this wasn't the first time. This has been happening her whole life ever since she's known Mary. So you would have saved your daughter all of that heartache.
Yep.
By making some moves. Now, is it hard, when let's say the kids are like 11 years old, right? It's hard to take you away from the best friend and, everything else. But hey, you could cut out Mary's mom. She's a negative influence. You could maybe redirect and be like, hey, let me get you back in gymnastics that you like. And let me, introduce you to other friends than Mary. And then maybe OP would naturally gravitate towards that without having to you're taking my best friend away.
I don't know.
Something.
I just feel like maybe he was a little absent. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Because it's where's the parents having any conversations when she's like, I'm quitting gymnastics. There's no conversation about that. There's no getting to the truth of that.
Yes.
They are not aware that it's just Mary telling her to quit.
So true. I bet if they had sat her down, they would know.
Yeah.
Great points, Dakota. Great points. But let's get into this final part of the saga. Also, I have called my grandparents, and they didn't know how my mom really felt about me, which honestly puts my mind at ease a bit. At least I wasn't the only one being oblivious. I guess she did a really good job at hiding her true sentiments. For my parents, I've decided to go low contact, with my mom and keep in touch with my dad. He's not going to divorce her anytime soon for several reasons. I'm also still on the fence on whether or not to cut ties with my mom completely or not. While many people in the comments mentioned that they're not in contact with their families anymore, I don't feel ready, quote unquote, for that just yet. I wanted to have a conversation with my mom first, just so I can hear what I've been told by my dad straight from her.
I do want to say really quick, because that was a good point, where it's a lot of people in the comments are like, I don't have any contact with my family, but it's you can't. Sure, it's that gives you the validation of oh, there are other people who have experiences similar to this or have had to make decisions similar to this, but it's you can't let the fact that other people have done it determine what path you take. It's your situation is completely relative to you, not these people who are on the internet telling you, oh, I cut off my parents, you could do that too. It's I mean, they're not wrong, but it's you shouldn't just don't just listen to people on the internet for no reason.
And as cliche as it is, every situation is different, and look at your situation. And you know what? I think, especially being 21 years old, I think OP has a really good head on her shoulders, and is really thinking about this in a really good way. Right now, I don't want to have that conversation. Yeah, I'm basically keeping her around for now. And some comments. Commenter number 1 says, glad karma has struck Mary. She destroyed your life, not you. Also, I'm glad that
she destroyed her life, because she was the one being you've ruined my life. Now King Julian is going back to Madagascar.
That is true. Glad that karma has struck Mary. She destroyed her life, not you. Also, I'm glad that now you have confirmation that she's after your beloved, not for love, but for money.
Here comes the money.
About your mother. That may be a bitter pill to swallow, but she may prefer Mary and her family instead of you. I hope I'm wrong in this last part, but toughen your little heart. Wishing you the best and take care. To which OP replies, I think that my mom's more interested in Mary and her family than her own family.
Dang.
Yep. But honestly, I'm still a bit hopeful. Commenter number 2, Mary is dumb as a doorknob.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Doornail.
Ooh.
Which don't exist. Shakespeare made that up. Dumb as a doornail.
Oh.
Nobody knows what that means. As far as I know. I could be wrong.
I guess
I'm not right about everything.
Just go but. How obtuse and self-centered can you be to say that to say that to the boyfriend out loud, even if you do think about it, and not expect a breakup? She ruined her own life because you have the audacity to be manipulated by her anymore. Again, she said to her boyfriend, I'm just staying with you until either OP's fiance or just someone better comes along. Why would you not break up with someone who says that?
Were you completely inebriated? What got you to say that? Are you just so like narcissistic that you didn't think that he'd break up with you when you said that?
La La Land.
Do you think what, he'd
Living in
try
La La Land.
harder?
Come on. OP replies to this saying, I don't understand why she stayed with him in the first place. I mean, being with someone you don't actually want to be with makes not only a relationship miserable, but also yourself. A great point. Commenter number 3 says, I think that Mary wants her life, not just finance. Maybe her mom was controlling and mean to her as well. She just saw your mom treating you better and became jealous of you, and it spiraled. OP said that could be possible. Her mother used to push her into certain directions a lot, forcing her into doing things that her mother loved as a child/teenager. But it never seemed like she didn't enjoy these things as well. I don't know for sure, though. And that's what I got.
It's through the chain.
It's through the chain.
Genetic, what is it? Generational trauma.
Passing down in the ways we don't want it to pass down.
Yep.
Riley, what do you think on minutes? We're good?
Yeah.
Looking good?
It's 27. I think that's a good one.
27. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not only the end of this story, but our entire members only stream.
Until we read these.
So we'll do a sign off and then another sign off. So
my boyfriend lost his best friend over a misunderstanding, and I feel responsible.
How dare you?
What did
OP.
you do? My boyfriend Brad, 29 male, and his best friend, 30 male, have been friends for years prior to us meeting. We have been together 3.5 years now, and the best friend, let's call him Adam, and I have built a decent friendship as well because he was always around. Even Adam's family was close with us, as Brad's family was family friends with them. By the way, this comes from HGB608080 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So, now time for some context. Adam and his family helped us move in together, which was conveniently less than 2 miles down the street from our new place. They invited us over for dinners. Adam would come over once a week at a minimum. We would watch their family's pets and house while they were out of town. Adam and his dad hired my boyfriend Brad to work construction with them as Brad's side gig. And we would even invite Adam and his sister to our siblings' Christmas event every holiday season. Adam's mom, Terry, is a lot. She's the type of person to give you the shirt off her back, but is still very blunt, overbearing, and doesn't think before she speaks. A great example of that is when she told me in front of Brad and her entire family that if she could clone me exactly to date Adam, she would. What's going on? It's always her way or the highway, which is why I think both of her adult children, 25 female, 30 male, have never even dreamed about moving out of their parents' basement. She is a helicopter mom to them, which would also explain why Adam is 30 years old in his mother's basement, working an aggressively part-time construction gig at his dad's side company that he barely shows up to and only leaves the basement if he isn't playing video games. Once Brad and I moved closer to them, anytime we were out of town, they would watch our dog. And in return, they would ask us to watch their zoo when they were out of town. 4 cats, 2 additional feral cats, 2 dogs, 10 plus fish, and 2 axolotls. Whew. We were happy to do it because our dog loved it there so much, but this last vacation was very different. Every summer, we go on vacation with my side of the family to Florida for a week. Every year, they have brought our dog to their house to watch her, but now couldn't because their dog was having seizures and would get aggressive with other animals when she did. So they said they'd rather come watch her at our place. To cut them some slack, Brad's brother and his sister also helped check in on our dog too throughout this week. With 2 days left in our vacation, in a group chat regarding who was watching our dog when, which was previously sent out as scheduled to everyone in a shared document 2 weeks before the vacation, Terry and Brad's brother miscommunicated. Our dog was fine, and the miscommunication was solved quickly, but Terry went berserk. She texted me saying that her family is our dog's second family, meaning my family first, her second, and Brad's third, and told me her family's last name would have a better ring to it with my name than Brad's family's last name. She also proceeded to call Brad's brother names in the group chat and basically insulting his competence. Brad's mother was in the group chat defending Brad's brother by saying, "Slow your roll, Terry. The dog is fine. It was a misunderstanding." And we thought it all would be good. Nope. It was not good.
No.
So Terry, the Adams sister, was just freaking out for no reason. It
sounds
seems.
like it.
Terry then texted Brad and I in a group chat vulgar insults about his mom and his family, but proceeded to text me separately being a fake sweetheart. After we both set some hard boundaries about how she was speaking about his mother and family, she then said she will no longer be watching our dog for the last 2 days of her vacation, leaving our dog stranded because all other friends and family were out of town already at a funeral or festival, which she knew. Adam then proceeded to call Brad, screaming at him, telling Brad to grow up, telling Brad that Brad's mom should leave her vacation to take over watching the dog. That vacation was a funeral. Telling Brad then that people die, so he doesn't care if she's at a funeral because we weren't nice enough to him when his 17-year-old cat died. Telling Brad he needs to get his life together and get more of an education. Brad's job doesn't require any more college schooling and he has a degree. And asking Brad if this is about money. We still don't even know what he meant by this. And finally topping this all off by asking Brad if he wants to take this outside. But they're not even home. They're not. How would they take it outside? They're not even there.
They cannot have an outside to go to.
Now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, how could this be brought outside when we're on vacation in a different state? We were thinking that. I don't know. The guys are idiots, but Brad has a very distinct past with violence, so that comment did not fly with me. We scrambled to find someone to watch the dog those last 2 days, finally made it home, where we were greeted almost once an hour to Terry, almost 60 female. Oh, I think Terry might be Adam's mom. Posting passive-aggressive Instagram and Facebook stories about us and our families. Adam, after a few days of calming down, asked if he could come over to talk things out with Brad. I said no, because he threatened him and has a history with violence, so he's not allowed in our home. Brad totally agreed, so they went to get beers instead. They talked it out. Things were fine, but Brad said he still needs to have a conversation with me to be allowed back over. It was going to be a simple convo, at least I thought it would be. I would say, hey, would you ever actually hurt your best friend using physical violence? And he would say, no, I love Brad. I would never. I was just being dramatic.
My
Boom,
goodness.
done. It did not go that way. The thing is that I think it's not really a simple misunderstanding. I think it was like a simple misunderstanding that revealed an actual problem in their friendship.
Yeah. Like there was some underlying issues and grudges that they were holding on to.
Yeah.
And then now it's all coming up and possibly in the form of violence.
Possibly in the form of violence.
Let's find out.
He asked me out to dinner to talk, but asked Brad first if he could by saying, don't worry, I'm not trying to steal your girl. To which I said no, because it was just uncomfy after that comment and his mom's comment about me and Adam. I told Adam to give me a call instead. Days go by and the phone doesn't ring. Weeks go by and still nothing. So I text him and say, hey man, you're free to talk tomorrow? I swear it'll be quick. He says, I'll pass. But you know what you should never pass on? Joining us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Tap it.
And there is a little bit more, but yeah, same deal. I think that you're just revealed who this guy actually is and who his mom is.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's just, all those things are coming up. You know, they can say, oh, no, I'm being dramatic. But especially if they've had a
History of
a
it.
history of like violence and stuff and aggression in the past.
No.
You can't trust that.
Can't trust
And
it.
this is such a silly little thing for them to
So
be mad
silly.
over. So it's like, maybe they just aren't the best people to be around.
Yeah, I also think that based off the title, you thought it was your fault. You literally were just your dog was supposed to be watched, and then they blew up. They blew up over that.
Right,
which is
like,
so strange.
Just trying to take care of your little puppy.
Yeah,
That's all.
Adam then texts Brad saying that I have driven a wedge through their friendship by being Brad's girlfriend, and that Adam only cares about making amends with Brad and not me because he doesn't care about my feelings. Brad did not like this and stuck up for me so well that I made him his fave dinner the next night and basically said, okay, then you're not allowed over. Adam argued against him not being allowed over. Brad stuck his ground. Adam responded saying I'm a fat idiot and Brad's mom is a terrible human, and then Adam and his entire family in unison blocked me. My entire family, who they don't know, Brad's family, and even Brad's brother's girlfriend on all social media. They did a whole cleanse there. Brad is still very clearly upset about this, keeps saying he's lost his best man, although he stands by not wanting to be his friend because he was so bonkers at the end there. I can't help, though, feeling partially responsible. If I just let bygones be bygones when they made amends over beers, would any of this have happened at the end? Am I the a-hole for saying Adam and I had to have our own convo, or better now than ever? Better now than ever.
Yeah, definitely better.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good to find out that this is Adam. This is who Adam really is now than later.
His true colors
True
are being
colours.
shown.
Yeah. He sucks. and you're better off without him. And
Yeah.
now you can find people who actually want to take care of your dog.
Yep, exactly.
But that is the end of
Exactly.
that story.
My boyfriend is using his best friend to make me jealous just because he likes attention.
Stop it.
I, 22 female, was always a really chill person. I've always gotten along with everyone and I really appreciate my mental peace. I hate unnecessary drama. By the way, this comes from a deleted account on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So I've been dating Zach for 3 years. He's always had his best friend Mia, who was studying in another country. They always talked via text or video call. That never interested me at all because I also have male friends. Mia was always disinterested when Zach was by my side on his video calls, and I wasn't interested in her either, to be honest, but Zach wanted us to be friends, so I tried. Mia listens to the same music as me, so one time 3 years ago, I texted her on WhatsApp to try to have a friendly conversation, but she saw the messages and never answered me and blocked my number. Damn! Apparently, Zach told her that I was the one who refused to let her be with us because Mia has been doing everything to criticize me since that day. She has criticized my work, my studies, my hair, my clothes, etc. Zach always says that's how Mia is and I should be your friend because she's really funny. Haha. Many times she tried to make me jealous with comments like, you know that I used to take baths with Zach when we were little kids. Okay. Ew. And she would get upset when I just said, all right, at those random comments because the heck, why would I be jealous of that? She sits on Zach's lap. He doesn't say anything to her about that,
Okay.
even if he knows I don't like it. Okay. He cuddles with her every time they have a chance and they whisper to each other and go out together sometimes. And I obviously can't help but think that in any moment I will come back to the apartment and she will be wearing one of his shirts and I don't want to deal with that, TBH. The worst thing is that Zach really seems to like seeing me jealous. When I tell him something is bothering me, he laughs and says, "Aw, you're jelly," and stuff like that without taking me seriously. It's pretty annoying to know that he likes me to feel that way, and Mia has been really irritable lately, like if she's competing with me. It feels like they're trying to make a novella with me. She always tries to make me jealous with stupid things, like when she said she knows Zach's favorite sushi and I don't, which I replied, then buy sushi for everyone because I don't care at all. I've told Zach on several occasions that his friend is an idiot, and he just says, Mia is like that. And he says that I should just ignore her comments, but honestly, I don't have the energy to deal with that girl and not beat her up at the end of the month. So I told Zach I'm going to move out, and it's better to give ourselves some time. That's a big step. That's a big step. I haven't moved yet, so he's been coming to my room to tell me that I'm letting my insecurities speak for me, and he doesn't feel anything for Mia. I told him that I'm not insecure. I just want to protect my mental peace and avoid drama. So he got angry, saying I should fight for him and not be so apathetic. He said that if I love him, I would be fighting for him, but I've always had the philosophy that if someone wants to cheat on you, they will do it even if you say no.
The thing is, he's telling on himself. He wants her to actively fight for him at all times. So he's not saying, oh, I want us to work through our problems. I want us to work, like try and in our relationship. He's literally like, I want you to have to always fight for this.
Right, exactly. I don't know if I'm being too cold about this, but I'm not the kind of person who enjoys drama. I was always the cold type of person. I hate it, and I know Zach and Mia are enjoying this love triangle. I really care about Zach, and we had a great relationship, but I care much more about my mental health. Am I the a-hole? And there is an edit, but let's discuss.
I think you did. You took the best path forward. You're weird. Bye. I'm moving out.
The fact that he's like, I want you to fight for this means that like he wants her to have controlling tendencies towards him. And maybe that's because he has controlling tendencies towards her. Well, we don't know. We have an edit. I haven't moved out yet because we pay rent together. The whole month of rent is already paid by me because he couldn't come up with the money to pay for this month, but he's supposed to pay for next month. Guys, I don't have any problem with this. He didn't take advantage of me or anything. Something happened. He ran out of money for rent. Nothing about that. And I have to wait for my parents to fix my room again. So for now, I have to leave my things here. At the beginning of the year, the lease was updated, so I spent a lot of money on that as well, as rent went up by 40%. So it's money wasted now. I'm pretty sad about that since my father was the one who helped me pay for my part of the expenses of that apartment. Okay, that makes sense. It's hard to just get up and leave. It takes a lot of money to be able to do that. But there is another update. I discovered Mia was sleeping with Zach. She's expecting his baby and they kicked me out from the apartment, but I'm pregnant 2. I spoke with Zach to ask him to have a good coexistence because I'm going to stay a few more months here because talking a little bit with him and my father, we came to a conclusion that it is better for both of us to continue living together in a healthy way. So much better than everyone being pregnant. Both have our bedrooms after all. He promised me that he wouldn't enter my bedroom without an invitation and apologized for doing that before. There are many reasons why we should continue to live together at least until the lease expires, but I'm not going to bore everyone with those reasons, but most of them are because of money and how expensive the bus would be to get from my home to work and college every day if I come back to my parents' house. We both cried and I asked Zach what he expected to happen when I saw him treat Mia that way. He said it's a self-esteem issue he has, but he needs me to show him all the time that I love him, and the fact I never reacted affect him a lot. Honestly, he's attractive. I know he's always been pretty conceited, but I used to think that that was the way he was. But now I see that it's actually a problem he has. Narcissism. Zach said that when he sees that I don't get jealous in the way he likes, he feels annoyed and even more insecure because he thinks I don't love him because he always shows me when he's jealous. He said he doesn't have feelings for Mia at all, but he likes to see my face when she talks to me that way. Zach knows Mia likes him, but he said she's like that with all her male friends too. And at first, he thought it was funny to see my annoyed face, but then it started to bother him the fact that I never reacted.
Like, Mia sucks, obviously, but like, he sucks for how he's treating Mia and OP. Like, he's playing with both of them.
Absolutely. And it's weird that he knows that Mia likes him and he's still letting her like sit on his lap. Like, I would say that that's on the edge of cheating. I did react, but it was talking like an adult. He probably wanted me to yell and pull her hair. The worst part, I was going to do it 100% if she kept behaving that way. That's why I decided to cut off the relationship before I reacted in that way. Zach even mentioned other times he wanted me to be jealous about other girls, but honestly, I had no idea he did that because I think if someone is going to cheat on you, they're going to do it, even if you tell them not to. I am not going to fight for a wiener, okay? I told him he's a weird idiot and his insecurity ruined our relationship. I had that thought of, did I really sleep with this person?
She like immediately got the ick. She was like, damn,
Like, ew.
you're weird.
Dang. So now I want the earth to swallow me. He has always been very kind and we had a beautiful relationship, but I just can't forget that behavior and the fact that he made me feel bad about Mia. Our conversation was pretty calm after that. Zach admitted that he ruined our relationship and I made it clear to him that we wouldn't be a couple again. I'm a little uncomfortable, but surely as the days go by, we can be friends or at least be civil with each other. At the end of the day, we both look for different things in a couple. He wants a passionate woman who feels things just as intensely as he does, his words, and I want a mature and focused man to live in peace. I think I'm too cold for him and he's looking for another kind of woman. Anyway, just know that no, I am not going to be in a relationship with Zach again. That boat is already gone. For now, I just want to try to make this coexistence work since we both know that is what is convenient for us. And at least for my part, I'm not going to screw it up. By the way, something that you could never screw up is joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Tap it.
And there's a little bit more, but do we have any current thoughts?
I think OP just handled this like really well.
So well.
Just handled what is a really immature, insecure boy.
Yep.
Trying to play with her feelings, and she was like,
Yep.
no.
Yep. I think that Zach has a very skewed mindset on how relationships should work.
Yes.
I think this isn't just intense emotions. This is unhealthy coping skills
I would say
with
so.
those emotions. Zach told me he made it clear to Mia that he's not going to sleep with her, but he also said that Mia is flirtatious with everyone and he kind of just justified her behavior. So yeah, according to Zach, Mia knows everything, but that's not what Zach said. So who knows if it's true or not. For my part, they can both F off and I don't plan on talking to Mia again. Mia knows. I think they both just like the attention. And that is the end of the story.
Man, yeah. Leave them to their own devices.
Yes. Let them be toxic together.
Mhm.
They'll figure it out.
They can
or
be in their little
not.
toxic pit.
Yeah, go you for protecting your peace.
We love that. But that is the end of that story. So
My boyfriend has been neglecting my needs because he works too much.
fire him.
There you go. Just quit your job,
Quit
boyfriend.
your job.
You have a girlfriend.
Priorities.
Right. Am I the a-hole for wanting to break up with my boyfriend for working too much, or would I be the a-hole? I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend, 30 male, for over 4.5 years. It will be 5 years in August. We met online when I was a junior in college. We hit it off and started our relationship only a week after talking. By the way, this comes from Rain 1999 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. He drove to see me from 3 hours away almost every weekend. I would occasionally drive to see him, but junior year is when studies ramp up, especially as I was pursuing a chemistry degree, so I didn't get out his way much as he did me. He was okay with it at the time and never really complained about driving to see me, as he has said that I am the best he has ever had. Oh, listen.
Okay.
Listen.
I guess you gotta drive. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it could be worth it. When he didn't get to drive out, he always said that he had work to do. A little context to his work situation. At the time, he was basically working 2 jobs, one as full-time and the other was his lawn care business. He would be working from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., sometimes midnight during the week. Those long days. This is still the same to this day. After I graduated college, I moved in with him to take a summer class for the last credit I needed. I immediately started looking for jobs before I was even done with the class, and I landed an hour away from his house. I started working and drove 2 hours round trip to work. This drive got super dangerous for me. I found myself falling asleep driving to and from work and almost crashed a few times. Along with that, we were not seeing each other much, and now that I lived with him, he expected me to basically be a housewife as well as work my 40-hour-a-week job with 10 hours of driving week. He would even expect me to have fresh dinner ready for him at 10 p.m. as he refused to eat microwave food or make it himself. I got sick of this really quick as it caused me to gain weight from eating so late and then going to bed soon after. So with the hour drive to and from work and the unreasonable demands and us not seeing each other too much, I moved closer to my job. There you go. He did not like that I was moving out, and he said that he wouldn't likely do the driving to see me like in college once I moved. This didn't deter me as I was focused on my mental health and safety. We continued to drive to see each other. This time I was the one driving almost every weekend. There were some weekends that I wouldn't drive because he would say that he had work to do and it wouldn't be worth it as we wouldn't be able to spend much quality time together. And in the year since I moved out, he has driven to see me maybe 5 times. 5 in a whole year?
That's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you together?
Right. Since I take my weekend to see him, you would think that he would appreciate that and not work. You would be wrong. He would work while I was there and suggested that I just drive along with him as he mowed lawns or delivered firewood. I did do this on multiple occasions, and at the end of the day, this didn't even please him. He accused me of not being supportive of him working so much and complains that we have to eat out every night I'm there due to him working so late and neither of us being awake enough to cook food. So that doesn't sound like that's OP's fault at all.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
you can cook your own food in the morning.
Yeah, and if she's literally like if you're the one working so much and you're like, I can't make food, and then you're like, OP, come with me to my work, and then you're like, why can't you make food? It's like, what?
What's going on here?
How does that make sense?
Doesn't.
That is only some of the things that he complains about. Anyway, this post has gone on long enough, so I'll bring us back to the present. For the past 2 weeks, we have been fighting constantly over text. Since he works so much, I give him the time to work and don't bother him by texting him while he's at work. He has taken this as me ignoring him, and thus I don't care about him. I've told him on multiple occasions why I don't text him, and he still chooses to think badly of me. I'm the type of person that has text anxiety to the point where I always text back right away and then constantly check my phone for a reply. I don't want to push myself in that situation by texting him when I know he won't answer right away because he is working. We talk on the phone occasionally during the week, but it's mostly at night right before I get ready to sleep. These conversations are mostly one-sided, and he just complains about his day and never shows interest in my day by asking me how I was. Lots of issues here. Lots and lots. This is so exhausting and always leaves me to sleep terribly. So now, since he gets upset that I don't text him or call him often and that I don't drive to see him every weekend, he releases everything he has held in and brings up so many other things to be mad at me for. Some examples of things he would bring up in texts is, I don't want kids, and he does. He has known that since we started dating, and I remind him constantly, yet he still says that I'm wasting his time. I also don't want to get married. This is true or false, as I don't mind it, but I won't marry him unless we live together. Another reason I don't want to move back with him because of the long drive to work. I'm also apparently forcing him to move away from his lawn care clients by suggesting once that he could sell his house and we could buy another house closer to my job, halfway, so like 30 minutes commute for both of us. I play PS5 too much with online guy friends. This one is especially annoying because I've never ever cheated on him, and he has once or twice. The jealousy act is tiring, even though I've told him I only talk about the game while playing with them. Another reason is how he always pays for things when I visit. This is BS because I pay for at least one of the day's meals whenever I'm there, but it always seems like more when he pays because he always wants to eat at fancier places. Another reason, he brings up that he drove all the time to see me in college and that I basically owe him to do the same now. I would rather live with my mom than him. This is not the reason I moved out. It just worked out that my mom could live with me to help save money and live more comfortably, as I was already low on money from moving and starting at the bottom of a new job. If this all sounds like a mess, it's because it is. There is so much more to this story, as we have been through tons of crap almost 5 years since we started dating. We both love each other and don't want to be the one to call the relationship off first. I'm leaning more towards saying it first now after these past couple of weeks, as I don't really have it in me to constantly reassure him and defend myself against what he assumes of me. I would miss him and the activities we get to do when I visit him. If you made it to the end, would I be the a-hole if I broke up with my boyfriend? And there is an update, but what's our answer, Sophia?
You would be the a-hole if you stayed with him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he cheated on you.
Yeah.
He wants you
Multiple times?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
He refuses to let you play games with your guy friends. Also, the point about, him wasting his time because you don't want kids and he does.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate this man. I kind of agree that you're both a little bit wasting your time.
Right, but it's like,
especially given all of the other terrible things about this man.
Right.
Why are we here?
Why are we here? But it's just so like bothersome that he is like, oh, because you don't want kids, you're wasting my time, when it's like, well, then
break up.
Yeah, just break up. Like that's
it's
all
ridiculous. I'm so annoyed. He's like, oh, you're like causing all of these problems, and it's like, dude, just break up.
Update, sort of. Well, thank you everyone who took the time to respond and give me advice. After some thinking, I have decided to break up with him soon. Woohoo! Deep down, I think I knew that it was time. I just needed to get all my thoughts out. I chose the internet because I don't have close friends to vent to, hence why the post was so long and gives off me being pathetic. For those pointing out that it should have been over once he cheated, I agree, but honestly stayed for selfish reasons, getting to stay at his house that is on a lake near lake bars and pools, and have someone to go out to eat with and try new foods. I mean,
This is so funny.
That
It's
is really funny.
He's like, yeah, I don't really want to be in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
But like the lake house.
but like the perks are amazing.
Yeah. The benefits. This is really our boyfriend with benefits. And the benefits is not being his boyfriend. It's not him being your boyfriend.
Right. In terms of the cheating, he was emotionally cheating on me. Nothing physical happened. Okay. He downloaded Tinder again and talked to multiple girls, telling them that he needed someone that would care about him. That is a crazy amount of emotional cheating. That's not even just like, I mean, it would still be bad if, I don't know, he was like confiding in a friend a little too much, getting a little too close with a friend or something. But actively downloading Tinder and thinking himself that he wasn't being cared about without breaking up with you for that reason alone.
Ridiculous. Disgusting.
And talking to multiple, like, that's crazy. Downloading a dating app while you're in a relationship is insane. Now, it's not the worst degree of cheating, but he was hiding it from me, and I only found out because I had a feeling and looked through his phone. We did take a break at that point, but got back together. And the reason I said once or twice, a friend caught him on another site, and I don't know for sure if he had the chance to actually go through with talking to someone else. He denied it when I asked. I don't believe him.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it for 1 second.
Not for 1 second. And for those saying that I am the a-hole for wasting his time or that I sound insufferable, like I said, this is only part of the story. I think I've always been the most supportive girlfriend through the past 4 years. An example I can give is that whenever he gets calls from customers and we're on the phone, I let him hang up and talk to them. Or if we are spending time together, I let him take calls because he always gets on to himself that he might lose money if he doesn't answer. By the way, you can always spend time with us every weekday at 3 p.m. PST if you join us live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Just tap our profile.
Tap it.
We're probably live right now.
Go check.
Just tap it.
In a second. We're gonna
Yeah,
finish the
after
story.
you finish the
Yeah.
story. I've told him my views on kids in the future and explicitly asked if he wanted to continue given that information. He said he wants to continue. Now I'm slowly realizing that he probably only said that to keep me around as I am the best spicy sleep he has ever had, according to him.
Yeah.
There's still more. But
mean,
that's so annoying.
Loki was a red flag when he said that the first time when she was
Yeah.
like, oh, you're coming all the way out. He's like, don't worry.
Yeah.
You're great spicy sleep.
Right, because you don't want like the main thing that they value to be
It's like, I'm
that.
coming out because I love you.
Right. It might also help to say that this is my first real relationship and I'm only learning. I want to see the good in everybody and give them a chance. I've been there. There's just too many things in this relationship that I now realize outweighs the few times that he is nice and kind to me. Exactly. But that's the end. I am so glad you got there, OP.
Woo, it
Because
took you a minute.
you don't deserve all that.
No,
You don't deserve all
way
that.
better, and you're gonna find that better
Yeah.
in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah, if you're
how come I was missing out on this the whole
Literally.
time?
If you're the best spicy sleep that he's ever had,
Yeah,
just
dude.
you wait.
But
Yeah.
that's the end of the story.
Woo. But we're
Yeah.
gonna get into the next one.
Let's do it. My friend blames me for a bad incident with an ex-friend because they met through me.
Well, butterfly effect, transitive property.
I'm currently going through a bit of an Attack on Titan phase, so for the sake of my anonymity, and because it makes this feel even more like a tragic saga, let's call the people in this story Sasha and Gabby. You get that?
OP, you're a monster.
Their anime counterparts have no bearing on the real people. By the way, this comes from Okay Calm Down, Missy. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So here's the backstory. Sasha, Gabby, and I all went to school together. Sasha and I, best friends. Gabby, a mean girl with a sob story, a penchant for saying the worst possible thing at the worst possible time, and a total inability to handle her booze. She's also one of those pick-me girls who thrives on attention and never met a compliment that she didn't make about herself. But for some reason, possibly masochism, I always considered her a loyal friend. Even my therapist has told me that she's a self-absorbed person, and I have some kind of toxic attachment to her. Fun times. Sasha, on the other hand, was my person. She's kind, fun, and the kind of friend that you can count on in good times and bad. Our friendship was mostly long distance for years since I moved abroad for school, and she eventually moved abroad too. We weren't exactly on speed dial, but if someone asked me who my best friend was, no hesitation, it was her. I don't know if she'd say the same about me, but at the very least, we were solid. Now, here's where the drama kicks in. The birthday disaster, chapter 1.
We like a disastrous birthday.
The three of us have birthdays within 10 days of each other. Think 2nd, 9th, and 13th of the same month. On my birthday, I threw a little get-together. Drinks were flowing, music was playing, everyone was having a great time. Until Gabby got wasted. And I mean Gabby level wasted, which is never a good thing.
Oof.
At some point, she and Sasha were talking on the couch while everyone else was drinking and dancing. A friend nudged me and said, Sasha looks super uncomfortable. That's when I saw Sasha abruptly get up, walk to the other side of the room, and start crying. Crying. Cue the commotion. Another friend started yelling at Gabby. Why the F would you do that? How dare you? Gabby, ever the drama queen, just smirked and said, yes, it's me. I did it. I'm sorry.
I feel like that was a perfect impression.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I rushed to Sasha and she dropped the bomb. Gabby slapped her. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, so we're like physical assault. Cool.
I instantly sobered up. My husband and another friend stayed with Sasha while I took Gabby aside and calmly, somehow, told her that she needed to leave. More drama ensued, but eventually she left. Later, Sasha explained that she'd casually mentioned her boyfriend, and out of nowhere, Gabby smacked her across the face, saying something like, "I thought we were both single and in this together." Okay, what the actual heck? Everyone agreed that it was probably jealousy. The night spiraled into chaos, but in the end, I did what I felt was the right thing. I cut Gabby out of my life. I figured that was that. My friendship with Sasha was intact, right? Wrong. For the next few months, things seemed normal. Sasha and I hung out regularly. Then out of nowhere, she confided in me about having relationship troubles. Nothing to do with Gabby, just some long-standing issues with her boyfriend. I listened, gave advice where she asked, and mostly just tried to be there for her. Then, about a month ago, she told me that they had broken up, and he ghosted her. I was shocked since we had been talking about communication strategies the week before. I immediately offered to come over or call her. She told me that she was with relatives and would call when she got back. So I waited and waited and then texted to check in. She was online, active with other friends, but distant with me. Eventually, she snapped, "I need space." Fair enough. I backed off. Then a week later, she hit me with the texts. She basically said, "I need to get this off my chest. Everything went downhill after that incident with Gabby. And Gabby wasn't even my friend. I only tolerated her because of you. I feel like she cursed me, and I'm paying for it. She got away with it too. No consequences.
I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
I feel like I shouldn't be nice to people anymore because who knows what other friends of friends might harm me like that. So, translation, this is somehow your fault." At first, I tried to be supportive. I told her I understood how hard it is to deal with negativity. I asked how she was feeling now. Her response? "Not good. I don't blame you, but she wasn't my friend, and I'm having a hard time accepting that. I somehow did this to myself."
Are you sure you're not blaming me?
I got radio silence ever since. At first, I cried a lot because I knew what she meant. She does blame me. Maybe not outright, but enough to make me feel like I'm being punished for something out of my control. But now I'm pissed. Like, what was I supposed to do? Beg Gabby to unslap her? Travel back in time and uninvite her? I already cut Gabby out of my life, apologized to Sasha, and made sure that she felt supported. What more was I supposed to do? Beg? Plead? Offer a human sacrifice?
No, but you could do the effigy of a human,
There you go.
and you don't have to sacrifice anybody.
Oh.
Don't actually do that. Don't do anything. You don't have to do anything. This person's
have to
just
do anything.
computing.
Exactly. And what happens if something else goes wrong in her life? Will that somehow be my fault too, just because it happened after the slap? The way she dropped me so easily, like I was disposable. That hurts. And now I don't even know if I want to reach out. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? We do have an update.
Yeah.
Welp, it happened. Sasha finally resurfaced, and let me tell you, the audacity is strong with this one. So, when I originally posted, I was still stewing over how Sasha had ghosted me while clearly not ghosting the rest of the world. Turns out her definition of taking time off was less about introspection and more about jetting off on a vacation with another friend because, of course, she only needed time off from me. That's always fun to realize. Meanwhile, mutual friends informed me that Gabby had been telling her therapist that she has no recollection of the incident because she mixed booze with her meds. Oh boy. Then, in classic Gabby fashion, she also told someone that she wasn't even sure the slap happened and that she was never given a chance to explain because everyone immediately believed Sasha over her. Wild. Of course, nobody who was actually there bought this nonsense, but it's so on brand for her that I almost have to respect the commitment to delusion.
If I'm remembering correctly, she literally went, "Yes, it was me.
Yeah.
I did it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she literally did that.
you had a confession and an apology in like a single breath. So yeah, I think you did do it.
Anyway, back to Sasha. The day I posted, she graced Instagram with the deeply poetic caption, "F this year and everyone that came with it." And tell me why my immediate gut reaction was, "Oh, cool, that's definitely about me. That's definitely about me." Then, lo and behold, she finally texted me. She starts with, "Hi, I took some time. I've been doing a whole lot of thinking and therapy and trying to realize things. I feel what I was talking about here was that I did not like how things were handled." And yes, how things were handled.
How things were handled.
That's a great way to say it. She then goes on to say that she really wishes that she had done something stronger in her case because she doesn't think that we made our stance clear enough to Gabby. That's right. Me punting Gabby out of my house and my life immediately was somehow not a strong enough stance. She felt like Gabby got away with it and that this entire thing had cursed her life, which is why she doesn't trust people anymore. I don't know, man. I don't know. At this point, something inside me snapped because in 2 whole months, she hadn't once asked how I was. She was off living her best life while I was left feeling like crap, and then she swoops back in with this? So I finally let it out.
Guys, time out. Guess how old they are?
Aren't they
No.
like in their early 20s or something?
They can't be in their 30s, right?
They're talking about
30,
booze.
30.
30 and 30.
This is insane.
I thought we were single and in this together. I reminded her that we had already talked about her desire for vindication, that I asked her what she wanted to do at the time, and that I even suggested legal action. I told her that my stance wasn't about arguing with Gabby. It was about removing her from my life, period. I reminded her that we can't control Gabby or what she tells people, but we can control whether we keep engaging. And I pointed out that while I tried to be supportive, she had laid this whole mess on me in an incredibly cruel way. And then I told her that I finally understood the right thing to do. That if removing me from her life would help clear out the negative energy she associated with me, then so be it. That I would miss her, that I loved her, but that this was where I had to step away. And then Sasha immediately started backtracking. I still don't blame you. You did the best you could at the time. She also wrote, "I don't want you out of my life. That was never my intention. I just feel like she should have been indicated differently." Indicated? Indicated how? I was in a terrible headspace. I was talking to no one. I really needed space and time, and I would understand if you do too. By the way, if you are in a terrible headspace, you know how to get out of a terrible headspace? Do you know how, Dakota?
I don't.
Well, let me tell you, you just gotta go to OK Storytime on Spotify
Or Apple Podcasts.
or iHeartRadio.
Literally wherever you listen to podcasts.
We have so many more episodes with more stories just like this
All you
one.
gotta do is search OK Storytime.
So, yeah, I'm done. I haven't responded, and I don't plan to. She wanted me to be the bad guy in her story, and when I finally called her on it, she panicked and tried to patch things up. But I think I finally reached a point where I don't need to chase an explanation or a resolution. The way she treated me was the resolution. I can't believe I ended a friendship of 20 years because of this nonsense. I'm so mad and also just crying because this is incredibly hurtful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 20 years.
Yeah. No, they were going through everything together,
Kind
man.
of makes it even worse, actually. It makes it way
Yeah.
worse.
But that is the end of that story. My girlfriend broke my PS4 for a TikTok prank. I broke up with her, as you should.
Yeah. Every single makeup palette you have, goodbye.
So, some background. During quarantine, I've been playing my PS4 games a lot more. I was able to finish up some stories and complete some big games in my free time the last few months. It was a great escape for me. By the way, this comes from Broken PS4, Broken Soul. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my girlfriend Liz never got it fully, but understood I liked playing it, and it made me happy. I told her that I was really looking forward to the PS5 and was hoping to get one soon. I missed out on the pre-order and initial shipping wave, so I got a bit sad for a while, but knew I would eventually get one when the craze settled down, whether it was next year or the year after. Her friend Kat also knew of this because her boyfriend was looking forward to the new Xbox. This is what happened today. This is when crap got bad. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, finishing up some last achievements when Liz came into the room with Kat. I said, "Hey, babe, how was your day?" And without warning, she pulled the PS4 out of the wall and smashed it on the ground. She then took a hammer and smashed whatever pieces were left. This happened within 20 to 30 seconds. I just looked at her in shocked. I asked, "What happened? Why did you do that? Did I do something to make you mad?"
That's exactly what I would have sounded like.
This was when I noticed Kat was recording everything on her phone. Liz walks away and then comes back and shows me a PS5 box. I still don't react. And she says, "Merry early Christmas." I just walk out of the room and go to the bedroom and lock the door. Liz comes knocking an hour later and asks, "What's wrong? I thought you wanted the PS5. I told her I couldn't even think about that because she literally just destroyed a part of my life that I have created over the last 5 years. I explained to her that she just ruined hundreds of hours of gameplay and saves that I had built up. Liz just said, "Well, can't you just do it again?"
I'm trying to think of like a parallel for that for women. I mean, there are,
This is when I walked out and left the apartment. I came back a couple hours later with Kat and Liz, now both showing off the PS5 to me. Kat says, "Look, Liz worked really hard to get you this. We just wanted to make you happy." I asked Kat why she was recording. She says that some person on TikTok or Instagram did the same thing to their boyfriend and they were happy. Apparently, that's where they got the idea from. A girlfriend came in, broke the PS4, and then gave them PS5 and everyone cheered or something. I still can't believe it. They wanted to make a video in that spirit with me as the guy. I told Kat a lot of my life was in that PS4 and now it's all gone. Side note, yes, I know. I should have backed up on the cloud. I did for some of my games, but a lot of them I just kept on the PS4. I had hundreds of hours from The Witcher 3, Kingdom Hearts games, and Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 15, God of War, The Last of Us, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry games. So many games. So many story-based games, too. Many of these titles were fully completed or close to that point. Most of them are now lost. Now Kat is calling me ungrateful, and her boyfriend liked the Xbox that she gave him. I asked her if she destroyed his old Xbox. She said no, and that she just gave it to him gift wrapped last week.
Ding, ding, ding. There's the difference, dummy. Are you kidding me?
Very apparent. I asked why I wasn't given the same treatment, and it was because they saw the video yesterday and got the idea to recreate it. I told Liz I do appreciate the gift, but that she needs to know that she broke a part of me that has been built over the years. It sounds stupid, but I really was proud of my collection.
And to just speak on that really quick, it's like, I feel like this is something they can get past realistically, but it is like a big thing.
It's a lot of consideration and thoughtfulness that was totally ignored.
I think the biggest red flag is that it was so careless. It was so thoughtless. And maybe she just doesn't understand that it's like, you've put a lot of work into the games that, she's just thinking like, oh, well, they're just games. Like you can play them again, but it's like, you don't understand. It's something that can't come back now. Like if you're playing a Pokemon game, you catch all your Pokemon, and then if someone comes and snaps it in half and gets you like the new Pokemon game, you'd still be like, you destroyed my old Pokemon game. Like I can't play that again.
Because it's something that you enjoy and that you've spent time on. It's memories, it's like these video games. It's not just like a stupid thing to like pass time. It's like a fun thing that you get invested in and in these stories too, So it's like just not even thinking or considering any of that is insane.
Also, that prank was probably fake. Red flag for girlfriend not being thoughtful and believing everything she sees on the internet.
But let's continue. Liz then says, "Well, why can't you just do it on the new PlayStation?" I told her I could, but it would take a lot of time and effort that I may not want to put in again. She just brushed it off and said, "Well, you can play your new games anyway. They're probably better." At this point, I left and went to a friend's house where I'm writing this now late at night. I don't know what to do at this point. I really don't care about the PS5 and am mad that an effing viral video made this all happen. What the F is wrong with people where they think destroying someone's personal property is funny? They tried showing me the video, but I'm not watching that crap. Yeah, that's reliving your trauma. Liz and I have had a great relationship to this point. We've been together for 4 years, and this is the only major issue that has come up. Some might think it's just a video game or that I can get past this, but I don't know if I can. It wasn't just that she did it. It was the fact that after it, she didn't seem to know why or care to know why I'm so upset. I've never had this feeling before and really don't know how to proceed here. And there are some comments, but what is our response?
I think it's fair to be like, I don't know how I feel right now. I don't know how to move forward here. I do think that it is just, at the end of the day, if you've been together for 4 years and this is your first like big thing, I think you can get past this. I think there is a chance it's a genuine like misunderstanding. She just truly didn't know or didn't see it that way. She didn't see it as like something like attached to your pride or something like that. I think the most concerning thing is just, do you want to be with a partner who is so thoughtless and kind of so careless, and then also in the post game sort of so callous about the way that you felt after you explained yourself?
Yeah, because on the one hand, like, it's possible to get through things like this, but only if the person that did the wrong thing is open to fixing it and is open to hearing OP out and just apologizing.
And she's probably feeling extra defensive because she thought this was going to be a great thing. She saw some video on TikTok. She's like, oh, it's going to be so great. And he's going to be so excited because she did get him the PS5, but it's, you know, everything around it.
Update. Well, it's been a hellish couple of weeks. First of all, I appreciate all the support. I didn't get to respond to many people because my life has been a whirlwind the last couple weeks. It took a lot of time thinking and talking with my friends and family about what has happened and where to go from here. I tried saving the hard drive from the PS4 through my buddy, who is more tech savvy than I am. We had no luck. All that stuff is lost forever. The PS5 has been at our place since the incident, but I have no interest in that thing right now. I didn't go back to the apartment for a week. I finally told Liz we needed to sit down and have a discussion about everything. It was a long conversation with lots of tears on both ends. I won't go into exact details, but I explained to her how her actions affected me. The comparison some told me to tell her about me smashing her phone or laptop in the same manner really hit her. In that moment, she understood, I think. I once again asked why she recorded it. She said that she wanted to capture the moment of my happiness. It wasn't about Instagram, TikTok clout, or whatever. She thought I would be ecstatic and wanted to have that moment captured forever. I told her I understood that. Finally, I told her the truth. I told her I couldn't trust her anymore with this. She destroyed something dear to me. So I broke up with her. Maybe it's irrational. Maybe I'm overreacting. I think after the conversation with my parents, friends, and her, I realized I can't love someone who doesn't empathize with me enough to know that breaking that PS4 was a bad move. This incident should have never happened if she knew how much I cared for this, especially during a year rough as this.
She didn't understand. Where it's like, it would be the equivalent of like if she had like a laptop, right? And you just like spiked it into the ground and destroyed it. And then gave her a new one and we're like, ta-da! But she's like, all my pictures, all the stuff that was saved on there is gone now. It wasn't backed up. How are we going to get it? It's like, oh, it's gone forever now. You'd be probably really upset about that.
I think I would break up too.
If after the conversation, like you sit down and you're like, all right, here's what really happened. And she still doesn't go like, okay, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Then I think I'm breaking up.
I told her that I'm moving out of the apartment to live with my parents for a bit. I said that I'm breaking the lease in March, so she has until then to find a new place. She was upset, but I stood my ground.
By the way, we will always stand our ground on the fact that you can listen to full episodes with more stories just like these. Just go to iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. We're there. I promise.
A lot of us.
So I spent Christmas with my parents, and while a little sad, I think it's for the best. She has tried to reach out, but I told her unless it was about stuff about the apartment, then I don't want to talk to her right now. As for me, I think I'm done with gaming. I'll find something else to keep my interest. I didn't take the PS5. It'll be really hard for me to find my joy in it after all this. I thought I would marry Liz. We were college sweethearts and we were happy.
That's so wild.
Now everything is broken, just like my PS4, and so I would rather not be reminded of that anymore. For now, I'm just going to be alone for a while and figure things out. I believe that everything will work out in the end as long as I keep myself honest and hardworking. Happy holidays. And that is the end of that story.
Oh my God, buddy, my gut's telling me now that you overreacted. I mean, I get it. It's bad, but like if this was the woman you thought you were going to marry, And now you're not even gaming anymore? Brother!
But I don't know. That's such a big betrayal, I feel.
I mean, it is a big red flag of like, all right, how is your brain working properly if you think that that was cool? But like, man, you could probably work through that, like, on a real level. Because that was in my head, like, that's the biggest thing. Like, if this is like something where it's like, all right, I don't think this is really gonna last, you're envisioning marrying this woman.
But listen, would the love of OP's life break the PS4? That's the question.
She is right. You can beat all of those games again. You can't go back and unbreak up with your potentially future wife if she was perfect in every way besides this. I don't know, brother. Not only did you lose your partner, you lost your love of gaming as well. But that is the end of this story. My girlfriend said that if she wasn't with me, she'd date her hot coworker. I broke up with her.
Well, Dakota, I have a secret for you.
Oh, do tell.
Looking pretty hot.
My girlfriend and I had been official for about 3 months before this happened. Things were fine in the beginning, but she started acting weird a few weeks ago. By the way, this comes from user Throw My Way. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, submit them there. So, she works in retail and has plenty of male colleagues, most of whom she never talked about or even mentioned by name. They were always this guy or that guy. So out of nowhere, she starts bringing up this one guy by name in our conversations. Let's call him Alan.
But don't worry about Alan.
Alan's the guy she tells you not to worry about. Alan's name seems to be popping up every time she brings up work. Whether it's a conversation they had or something that happened at the job irrelevant to him, his input and name always seemed to come up. I didn't think anything of it at first, but I grew suspicious after realizing just how often this name has come up in any of our conversations. My girlfriend also recently started making jokes about leaving me or finding someone else whenever we were joking around.
Okay, I've been there. Get out.
Red alert, my guy. Red alert. Again, I didn't take it seriously at first, but she kept mentioning breaking up in this harmless, joking way too much to make me think there wasn't something on her mind.
Whenever my ex moved a state away to start her new career as a teacher, she was talking about how she won't date other people at her school. And I was like, wait a minute, you're dating me right now?
It was like, yeah, babe, that's crazy because we're dating right now.
One time she kissed me and like I kind of pulled away and she's like, no, this is how you kiss. Remember that. And it felt like she meant to say like, remember that for when you kiss other people. That's how I felt.
I think that's exactly what she was saying.
I got it.
Hey. Then she tells me that Alan, who has a girlfriend, approached her at work and told her that she should go on a date with him and lie about her whereabouts to me.
Oh, so funny.
At least she told you, right? Now, I maintained a cool head when I heard about this and jokingly asked her, oh, so you got plans this weekend? We both laughed and I tried to not get overly jealous about it. But after this, his name only came up more and her jokes about breaking up became more frequent, so I got suspicious. I looked through her phone and found a conversation between her and her friend about Alan, and it basically went like this.
Who are you gonna be?
Girlfriend. Oh my God, there's this guy at work who keeps on asking me to go out with him, and I just keep telling him no, but he's just like so persistent. And oh my God, you should see him. He's like so attractive. Friend.
Can I be friend?
Friend.
Oh, girl, what are you gonna do?
Girlfriend. Obviously, I'm not gonna do anything because I'm with someone, but honestly, the only thing stopping me is the fact that I'm with OP. He was one of the guys I originally liked when I started working here. Am I crazy? When you stop by the store, you have to see him.
Oh, stop. You're not crazy at all. Ooh, I can't wait.
Said, ooh. Ooh.
I can't wait.
Ooh. Ah!
Just a knife in my heart.
This story's giving me trust issues. Remember, never date a girl with hot coworkers.
Exactly.
I confronted her about the conversation and she got super squirrely when I said, quote, so you like that guy Alan from your work? Is he the guy you have in mind when you joke about leaving me? That's a good way to put her on blast, that's for sure. She basically tried to rationalize everything she said, but just the way she reacted showed me she clearly felt more for this dude than she let on. She got this big time stupid grin when I mentioned his name and could
could barely keep her story straight about the conversation she had with her friend. She kept saying, I don't like him, but yes, I think he's attractive, which really pissed me off. I got especially annoyed at the fact that this guy had a girlfriend, and she was basically saying that if I wasn't in her life, she would have gladly been his side woman or whatever.
I like when he says, you would be my side woman or whatever.
My side woman.
Not even my main chick.
My side lady. It's very humiliating to think that she sort of fell for that type of guy. Obviously, she doesn't love him, but the fact that she said she would date him if I wasn't in the picture makes it seem like this guy is just as good of an option as I am.
Just nice guys finish last.
Oh, this guy Alan, all he is hot and a coworker.
Such a bad boy.
He's not like me. I mean, I'm not trying to slam on OP there, but like, leave.
Yeah.
Leave.
Come on.
I feel like a lot of people put these stories out there because they're like, I don't leave, right? Brother, you're leaving. Pack your bags.
What's the hard thing to do?
Stay, I would think.
Really?
To stay in this?
I think the hard thing for OP is to leave. And usually the hard thing to do is the right thing to do.
It just becomes a gut check, man. It's like once your gut tells you that like she wants to hook up with this guy at her work and like leave you, like it's your gut's telling you what to do. So this guy Alan's trying to cheat on his girlfriend with her and she's bragging about it to her friends. What the actual F? This works in retail, and I make more in 2 hours of work than he makes in 20 hours.
And my thing's bigger than his.
Yeah. What is this? I don't get it. I know she didn't cheat on me, but this seems like the precursor to it. I'm also worried because if this guy had her basically ready to jump on him, and he's pretty much a bum, then what happens when somebody competent and good looking comes around? So pause for 1 second. You are, in effect, calling your girlfriend a bum. She has the same job as him.
Yeah, and your incel showing dog.
So maybe your girlfriend's looking for someone who maybe, I don't know, shows her a shred of human respect in the context of what she does for work. Because working retail, yeah, it's not glamorous, but slam dunking on Alan for not making as much money as you, you're doing the same thing to your girl. Just putting that out there. So I feel like I can't trust her at all anymore. If that's all it takes for her to be willing to go after someone, then how the heck can I trust her? That dude was a bum. Sweet Jesus, I don't know what to do. I can't tell if I'm overreacting or not. Am I out of line? And there's an edit. Shout out to the people in retail. Nice save. Him being in retail isn't a fault of his. I exaggerated when I said I make in 2 hours what he makes in 20. It's more like a 3-to-1 ratio.
So I make even more than he does.
I don't know the guy or his potential career paths, but I brought up the retail aspect to show that I'm more established in my career than he is. Mostly he's a scumbag. He's trying to cheat on his girlfriend with my girlfriend, not because he works in retail. And there's an update.
Thanks for the clarification, OP. I think less of you now.
I'm sure everyone in the comments immediately bashed him for exactly what I was saying. So let's get into the update. What's the prognosis? Are they staying together or are they breaking up?
Dude, they're breaking up.
They gotta break up. At this point,
Yeah.
you don't have the trust. That was low-key, pretty kind of slimy.
And you both don't deserve each other.
Well, I had to talk with my girlfriend and it got pretty aggravating. She basically said that he's nothing serious and it was just a crush, like so many of you said. She also said that she didn't want to be his side woman, but would date him if he didn't have a girlfriend and if she wasn't with me. And that wasn't too nice to hear. I asked her, why the heck would you want to date this guy? And she responded, because he's a good guy. My head practically exploded. It turns out, oh, he's a good guy? Oh, he's a good guy and I'm not a good guy? All I do is yell at you. I'm not a good guy? This sounds, it feels like this is like a hypothetical question that's gotten out of line. Mm-hmm. She's literally like, if I wasn't dating you and he wasn't dating her, I would date him. Yeah. But guess what? You're both dating. This is like, would you love me if I was a worm?
This is exactly what this is.
But you're not a worm, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I started yelling, he's a good guy. He's trying to use you as his side lady, and you have the effing audacity to claim he's a good guy? She got super defensive and started fumbling her words, and I exiled her from the house. The next day, today, we spent all day trying to talk about it. She honestly had been okay up until this point, but nothing special or noteworthy. Her disrespectful comments and then this all compounded, but I still wanted to make sure I wasn't making a mistake. Oof, yeah, brother, I think you need to not be in a relationship at all and look in yourself.
Grow up a little bit.
Yeah, love people for who they are, not where they're at. She was really hard to talk to today. When I asked her if they had ever done anything together, she said not at all, which I truly believe. But when I asked her, why do you think he's a good guy? She avoided the question 5 times before I got the real answer out of her. whatever. Conversation was as follows. Me, the thing I'm most bothered by is that you would not only date this guy, but also claim he's a good guy to my face, even though he's clearly a piece of Why the heck would you do that? What could possibly be so redeeming about this guy that you had the nerve to say he's a good guy? Her.
Well, he's really book smart and intelligent.
Me. So that's enough to overlook the fact that he's obviously a cheater? You're an effing idiot. Hang up.
That was so productive and such a great conversation you had with your girlfriend.
Hey, buddy, I'm starting to think you're not a very good guy.
You know, I imagine this actually didn't happen, and he's rewriting it to make him look like he was the hero.
Oh, yeah, this is like when you have like the argument in the shower by yourself like an hour later, and you're like, oh, dang it. Oh, I should have said that. Something about her saying that just drove me over the edge. So effing disturbing that she would defend this guy. You're getting disturbing, my guy.
So I read all the books in the world.
And then everyone clapped. It made me realize she clearly felt more for him than just physical attraction. I dumped her, told her to never call me again, and now she's insulting me, calling me insecure right now. Like, I give a crap. I'm glad I don't have to deal with her dumb butt anymore. I'm glad she doesn't have to deal with a guy who clearly, right beneath the surface, was just seething with hatred at the slightest imbalance of the homeostasis of the relationship. Yeah. You were ready to just go off. And you clearly don't respect your ex-girlfriend in any way, regardless of how she feels about Alan.
I'm just glad this is over. You could have skipped a few steps, but it's over now.
You got a superiority complex, my guy. TLDR, my girlfriend's an idiot. Oof. Edit, to give some more clarity, I've been seeing her for about 6 months total, 3 months of dating and 3 months of a relationship. Prior to her, I had just come out of a relationship where I was cheated on in the first few months. There we go. And basically got the excuse I wasn't sure if I really loved you or not. I actually made the mistake of taking her back and staying with the cheater for 1 more year. That relationship was terrible in so many ways that it has affected my ability to trust women. I actually thought I had found someone trustworthy in this new girl, but clearly she got bored of me, or perhaps was just like my other ex in that she wasn't too sure yet. Well, she'd only been dating you for 3 months. That is not, you're acting like you were gonna get married.
Yeah.
I definitely have trust issues, and she knew that, but couldn't help herself, so I removed myself from the situation.
I think that was best for everyone.
That felt like moving the goalpost there a little bit. Because earlier in the story, he's talking about the banter of like, haha, well, I'm going to leave you or we're going to break up. And it's like that was a back and forth. That wasn't one-sided. It was only once he discovered there actually was a guy who she thought was cool and a good guy that he became uncomfortable by it.
Yeah.
It seems. Anyway, we have a second update here. Let's see what happens. Just to note, we always had an open phone policy. This wasn't about not trusting each other at all. We just both agreed neither of us had anything to hide, so we didn't really care if we wanted to take a look. This was the first time I went through her phone because I had a bad feeling and was somewhat unfortunately vindicated. I got really pissed after reading the texts and ended up breaking it off with her after she tried defending herself and claimed he was actually a good guy. But he had a girlfriend and he was willing to cheat on her with my girlfriend, which honestly, that sounds like maybe hyperbole. I'm not sure. But it could be true. So I had a few days off to really think about what happened that night when I basically just told her to get out of my life. A decent amount of the comments were pointing out that my aggressive way of bringing up the issue probably played a big part into how she reacted. They were totally right. After a few days of thinking about it, I realized I let my anger get the best of me and made it impossible for her to be heard at all. So last night, I agreed to meet with her to hear what she had to say about it all. I could have just ignored her completely, but I was actually really interested in how she could possibly think she could explain this away. So I met with her and she began apologizing, saying things like, I didn't deserve that at all. It was immature and disrespectful to the relationship. She again explained how nothing had ever happened between them, not even a hug, and that she always rejected his advances, never leading him on once. He really just wouldn't leave her alone about it. I told her that it didn't seem like she put her foot down hard enough with him if he kept coming back, and it seemed to me she let it happen. She said she did tell him to stop every single time, but that he really just wouldn't leave her alone. I asked her about the bragging, showing him off, and the weird sort of flattery, and she told me this. Here's where it gets interesting to me. She started explaining to me that she had a little crush on him when she first started the job before we even started dating, but they never pursued each other. She thought he was cute but didn't act on it, and soon after starting the job, she met me. We got serious, and in her own words, she forgot that I had a crush on him, even though she still found him attractive. But something happened after we had been official for 2 months, and he started aggressively pursuing her. At first, she didn't even think of it because he was a flirty guy and just kept shooting him down. She knew at that time that he only wanted to have the spicy sleep with her, so she didn't take it seriously, but he started asking her out to dinner and talking about romantic dates, and something in her just clicked back on. The feelings from the crush she had on Alan before came flooding back, and suddenly she was actually having an internal struggle with her feelings. On one hand, she knew he was a scumbag, but she was just so physically attracted to him that she started to like him a little. She knew he only wanted her for spicy sleep, but when she started talking about dinners and stuff, she started thinking that he actually liked her as a person. When she started thinking that way, she just couldn't help how attracted she was to him, and the crush came back. All right, bro, so at this point, we're breaking up.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, fine, if you're that attracted to this guy, go
date
date
him.
him. Go date him. And you know what? You don't have to be that mad about it because you guys were dating for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. This is what dating is for. And if you want to be honest about it, you go, you know what? I do kind of feel like I want to pursue something with this guy.
Yeah.
And you go, yikes, well, that's not what I want to hear, but I guess we should break up and move on with our lives. You don't have to make it a Mount Vesuvius eruption, you know. Anyway, she was flattered that the person she secretly had eyes for in the beginning was now crushing on her, and she just couldn't help the way it made her feel, even though she was now with me. At the same time, it also made her super uncomfortable because she liked me way more than she ever liked him. She told me that he didn't have anything that I didn't already have. She's just as physically attracted to me as she is to him, which is possibly true as I've never seen this guy. And even though she said he was book smart and whatever, that I was way better than him in every way. Sounds like compensating me, dude. She didn't even conceive of him as a threat to the relationship because she knew that she would never do anything with him or leave me for him, but unfortunately, she said some dumb stuff to her friend in a moment of excitement when she started feeling flattered by her former crush crushing on her. I was really appreciative of her honesty, and even though it was tough to hear, I didn't even want to snap back. It was sort of amazing to hear. So I asked her about the whole defending him when I asked her how he could possibly be a good guy. She really didn't want to answer the question, so I kind of answered it for her because it doesn't feel like there is an answer to that question. It feels like the answer to that question is, oh, he's not, but he's really hot, you know?
I just want to see what's under his clothing layer down below.
In the words of Estelle, don't like his baggy jeans, but I might like what's underneath them.
Lava.
Shout out. There was a comment on this previous thread that really stuck with me regarding this exact question. I forgot who posted it, and it was actually a sort of snide remark, but surprisingly wise. Basically, it said, she had to tell you he was a good guy because she knew if she told you the real reason that she was attracted to him, he's cute and charming, that you would just flip out more. Makes sense. She deludes herself into believing he's a good guy because she wants to be with him because she's really attracted to him and she wouldn't want to date a scumbag, so he must not be a scumbag. Contrary to the evidence. Self-delusion at its finest. I had those quotes in mind when I told her that I understand why you're hesitant to answer, because ultimately it's a lose-lose for you. You could either lie to me and say he's a good guy to make it seem like you're not shallow, but then it would seem like you're more than just physically attracted to him and actually like his character. By trying to avoid hurting my feelings, you made it seem like you actually liked him more than I previously thought. Or you could be honest and just say you found him cute and charming even though he was a scumbag. You knew he was you were so physically attracted to him that you couldn't accept he was actually a bad guy. If you just had honestly said, I would shag him but never be with him, I may have been mad at hearing that, but it would have been way better than listening to you lie on his behalf so you don't seem shallow, because it only amplified the situation and changed the dynamics. She was pretty shocked at me saying that and told me I honestly never wanted to say why I was attracted to him because I just thought you would flip out. But yes, he's just cute and charming. I know that doesn't make him a good person and wash away his despicable behavior, but I just didn't want to say to you when you were so mad at me. It's just a physical attraction that was compounded by the crush I had on him before I met you. I don't know the guy at all really, aside from talking occasionally at work, but he's not you and I wouldn't trade you for him ever. You're just as cute and charming as him, if not more so. But you have so many more amazing qualities and all he has is looks. It was the weirdest feeling. On one hand, her honesty cleared up exactly how she felt about him, but I was still a little unsure about how much she liked him. Brother, what are we doing?
Why are we entertaining this man?
What are we talking about here?
Find someone else attractive this deeply? Out.
The only reason that she has only a physical attraction to this guy, because she doesn't know anything else about him yet. So, I don't know.
Yep, she's just window shopping.
I think now is the time to appreciate that you had an honest, open discourse about this, and you both move on with your lives, right?
Yeah. That seems like the right thing to do, but I bet you we're not even halfway done.
Oh, no, we're getting close.
Oh, we're about to read a conclusion here?
I hope they just move on.
Same.
The amount that she liked him is not nearly as deep as I thought it was, but the thing is, it's still there. She just admitted to being able to overlook his huge red flags due to physical attraction, but also also admitted that it was sort of silly. And brother, she's overlooking your red flags, I'm sure, as well. You don't sound like you're red flagless, but regardless, let's continue. She also told me about how her and the friend she had the conversation with talked about what Alan was doing to her that night, and they both agreed it was gross and that she would never do it, but she couldn't help but feel somewhat flattered when he did those things to her. She's got to be the worst liar I have ever encountered, but I didn't get a notion of deceit in our conversation. I apologized for yelling at her and calling her an effing idiot, and I explained that I understood why she was afraid to be honest with me from the get-go, given the way I was acting, and that I'm not interested in losing control of my emotions like that anymore. We're not together because I still feel weird and uncomfortable about the whole thing. I told her I appreciated her honesty, but it was still very concerning hearing just how easily she developed feelings for someone who isn't even a good person, and that I have a hard time believing it wouldn't happen again. I caught myself and told her I've heard those things before with other women during our relationship, but it never got nearly as far as she took it, and it was still a very disrespectful thing to do. I know we as humans can't help who we're physically attracted to, but it's very concerning to hear it from your ex/girlfriend or whatever. She doesn't want to be with him and wants to be with me. That much is very clear. Nor did she want to be his side piece because honestly, she has more respect for herself than that. But she couldn't deny that she did say she would go out with him if it wasn't for me, even though she chalked it up to a misunderstanding of what she meant. And that when her friend talked about it more with her, they agreed he was a gross guy, so she probably wouldn't either way. That's just a mess. It's time to go. It's time to leave.
I thought we graduated from middle school, guys.
It's time. Move along. On to the next. I still don't know how I feel about it. Yes, you do. But I do want to see what you all think about this type of situation. You do know how you think. I would really hope you know how you think about this situation. It clearly happens in relationships, but it's scary to think that all it takes to lose control of your emotions is looks and charm. She didn't do anything with him, but I don't know. This still comes across as off-putting, even if she was 100% honest, which I think she pretty much was. And by the way, I'm being 100% honest with you when I say you can listen to full episodes with stories like this on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and 49 consecutive days worth of stories will be at your fingertips, and you can listen to your heart's content.
I just wish you would be like my dad and my childhood dog and take me out to the woods and put me out of my misery.
Please. Honestly, please, just rip the Band-Aid off, man.
Yeah, dude. We know what we need to do.
There's no going back, because I don't feel like you're the kind of guy, from the context I've gotten from this story, to be able to actually move on from this. 3 months from now, when you guys get in a fight, you're going to bring this up.
Oh my gosh, she's like cute and charming, but like you have all these other qualities, but like black, blah, 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 blah.
And that could be true. It's like she could be honest when she's saying like, yeah, I was attracted to this guy, and like I do know he's kind of a and I've talked to my friend about it, and yeah, he does. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to date somebody who's attracted to scumbags. Anyway, let's finish this story. There's a mini update here. I forgot to mention this part of the story, but I asked my ex if she would tell Alan's girlfriend about his attempts at infidelity, and she said no. She said it would only cause problems at her job, and she didn't want her name involved, which is fair.
Fair.
Look out for yourself. In the context of the job, it's like, you don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. And if you want to be a man about it, you could do it yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, if that's how you really feel about that, you do it.
Would you mind doing this one favor for me?
I don't know. Maybe it would cause problems, but I read it as very sketch, like she doesn't want to piss Alan off. Maybe I'm paranoid, though. I mean, look, she's already your ex, brother. Stop caring what she thinks about Alan. It's over.
Yep. It's time to hit the gym, watch some more Andrew Tate, and go back to the rock you crawled under.
Maybe we're being a little harsh on him.
Are we?
But there were some, I don't know, like...
I yelled at her and called her an idiot.
I think the way you got checked by the comments in your first post, by being like, I make 10 times more than he does, and by the way, brother, that's where your girlfriend worked. So you clearly respect your girlfriend at the same amount as you respect Alan in that context, until you got checked and then backtracked. So who's to say, I don't know. I feel like you're trying to temperature check your own thoughts and feelings with the internet instead of just being honest about how you're thinking. You're thinking that you don't want to date this woman. Don't date her. Yeah. It's over.
And we know how you think and how you move and how you go about things.
It's a little high horsey. Feels like he's a little bit up on a high horse.
Really is.
Although I do support, like, if this guy really is trying to cheat on his girlfriend deserves to know. But do that yourself.
Yeah, come on.
If you feel that. If that's how you're feeling, you can do that.
And your ex is now single, so we know what she's going to be doing with Alan. She's not going to have enough time to tell Alan's girlfriend what Alan's doing.
Yeah, take the matter into your own hands.
That's the end of that story.
I supported my friend during her struggles, but she didn't do the same for me.
Drop her.
Just like that, like a hot
Drop
potato.
her. She's gone.
Hi, I'm 27 female. I apologize for any grammatical mistakes as English is not my first language. This is my first post, and I hope people don't be too rough. I also sometimes think what I did was wrong, but it's been 1.5 years, and now I just want to get it off my system. By the way, this comes from Lost Visit 6895. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/storytime subreddit. So, now coming to the topic. I met my then best friend, let's call her Sia, a decade ago in 2015. I went to my maternal house for graduation, and that's where I first met her in a tuition class, and we instantly clicked.
A tuition class? Tuition class.
I've never heard of that. She had a very outgoing personality, is very pretty, and lots of guys used to dote on her. But one thing I must mention is that she was a bit, should I say, naive. She had a keypad phone, couldn't understand memes, and didn't know about corn. I was the one who introduced it to her. Over our 7 years of friendship, I taught her everything. How to create boundaries, be polite, feel confident, and so many other things, which I'll explain later.
You're like her mentor.
You're her lifeline.
Yeah, you're her life coach, honestly.
Really? That's not your job. You're not her mother.
Yeah.
I've created a new personality for her, which is somewhat similar to me.
Dang.
Oh, I don't like that.
Feels like Clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the closet, though.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit like it probably was unintentional because she's teaching her all these things and modeling
Yeah, and
it
she's
over
just
her own
kind of
experiences.
yeah.
And I think it feels like it's unintentional that she made like a mini version of her.
Yeah, she's
But it's
like,
also
now
kinda
go out
toxic.
into the world. Yeah. They seem a little codependent.
Mm-hmm. She used to live in a fairy tale and had little experience in practical life. Even though people were using her, she would let them. She's from a very conservative but wealthy family from the countryside, and her father was one of those people who pushed for a son. Oh, that's sad.
Oh.
They have 3 sisters, and her father stopped only because her mother couldn't take it. Yep,
Oh,
there's that toxicity.
Jeez.
Anyways, when I first met her, people used to gossip about her because she broke up with one of our seniors. It was a small town. She was a pretty young lady, so people loved to gossip. Anyways, me and another friend backed her up and told people off on her behalf, and everything was going fine. We told her she should take some time off from dating, but she started dating behind our backs. That's a weird way to phrase it.
Yeah,
Dating
behind your
back.
backs.
Like,
You're not, again, she's allowed to do whatever she wants.
You're not her mother. She's allowed to date.
Yeah.
And like maybe she didn't want to tell you because maybe
You guys were a little bit, you're like,
A little
oh, she's
judgmental.
naive. You don't understand. I think you're treating her kind of like honestly.
Yeah.
Which isn't fair. She's allowed to date people.
she used to live in a PG and her roommates kind of pushed her, as she said to me. So she hid it from me and told me months later because her boyfriend was afraid that I would say no. I take care of myself pretty well, so people don't cross boundaries. Maybe that's why, even if they gossip behind my back, they don't have the guts to say in front of me. I didn't mind much because we weren't exactly best friends. The day she told me about the guy, I knew they would eventually break up, mostly because she was way out of his league and they also have different castes, which is a big deal in India. Okay, I can kind of see where part of this is coming from.
Mhm.
On one hand, it's also kind of like, it's upsetting to me. It's like, oh, I knew you were going to break up from the beginning.
Which is also why I'm like a little bit thinking maybe OP is somewhat of an unreliable narrator because
Mhm.
it seems like they're falling into this thinking of like the caste system.
Right.
They're like, oh well, he's not in the caste, so he's not worthy of dating
Yeah.
this girl. It's like, okay,
It's,
well, that's
it's
messed
also
up.
incredibly like peppered with judgment.
Yeah.
So this is not an objective view. And it's not even, they're not trying to be objective, I
Mhm.
think. They're venting.
Yeah.
Plus, her parents would never accept him. And that's a story for another day, and that's also juicy. Things went smoothly, and we didn't study at all during our first year and had a great time hanging out, all 3 of us. But things started to go downhill when exams came. We didn't have semesters and had only 1 exam at the end of each year. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
1 exam. If you failed even 1 subject, you'd have to repeat
Dang,
the year.
man.
So I barely passed. Sia failed, and her boyfriend got very good grades. She had a hard time dealing with her father, and we promised to study hard. Here's one thing. I don't have an outgoing personality, and during those years, even less so. I don't like sharing my problems with people unless we have a very good bond, because if they don't listen properly, I feel hurt and don't want to share anymore. During my final year of high school, I started dating my ex, who was very toxic and had a lot of issues. I was having a hard time and planned to break up with him. During that time, I also met my now fiancé. blush, blush. Like as unreliable and like kind of toxic as their narration is, it's fun.
It's fun. It's like blush, blush.
Sia was a good friend to me and supported me throughout my breakup and starting a new relationship in 2017. After the second year results, 2017, I became the top of my class, but Sia barely passed first year. She was genuinely happy for me, and I supported her as much as I could with notes and all for the second year. After my final year, I moved to a new location to prepare for the civil exams. Sia was in that town, but her boyfriend also moved to the same city as me because it's the capital city of our state. I moved to a PG.
PG is a rental accommodation wherein a person has to pay a specific amount to live at the property and share facilities being offered with other people living in the house. There are PGs where you can share your facilities and space with 1, 2, or more people. Yeah, so it's just shared living.
It's kind of like a co-op.
Yeah.
Sia was a bit jealous, and she would also post pictures with others that would make me jealous. My fiance would often laugh and say, "She's my girlfriend." I'm sorry it's already gotten long, but I haven't started the main story yet. These are all the factors I want you all to know. I have a personality of out of sight, out of mind. I'm really bad at keeping in touch with people, but for her, I tried my best and planned a surprise visit to my college town for her birthday. She was very happy, and the problems we were having resolved. But just after a few months, her second year result came, October of 2018, and she had failed. She didn't have the courage to share it with her parents and pretended to take preparation for the third year. Because if her father knew about it, he would marry her off to someone. We're from India, so things like these are pretty common. She called me crying, sharing all of this, and the only thing I could say to her was to pretend to complete her third year, 2019, March to April, and then come to our city so me and her boyfriend could help her find a job and she could pursue distance education. Okay, this seems very dire for Sia.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like OP is trying to be a good friend here.
Mm-hmm. But it might end up like that Sia relies on her too heavily. I mean,
Right.
we already know that she has a history of that. So,
Right.
and OP kind of encouraging that reliance.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And if something goes wrong, then there might breed resentment on either side. Like,
Yeah.
OP would be like, "You didn't take my offer for help seriously enough," or Sia could be like, "You didn't help me enough."
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
I arranged my PG and also the coaching center that I was studying at for her father, so she had an alibi. But I wasn't there the day she came, as I had to visit my hometown. She was frankly in a very bad state with all the stress. We would talk for hours about what we could do about the situation, and I would even stop talking with my fiance so she didn't feel alone.
What? Wait, sorry. She's jealous of your relationship with your fiance, so she's like, "Be better if you just like didn't hang out with him or talk to him, so that I don't feel alone because I don't have a relationship."
However, her boyfriend was not supportive during that time at all, and she started thinking about breaking up with him. But after a couple of months, I had to move back to my town because my brother, who was financially supporting me, couldn't do so anymore. It was sad, but I didn't have many options left. After 2 to 3 months, I cracked one of the preliminary rounds, so one of my maternal uncles allowed me to stay in their empty apartment. We started visiting each other's places often, but then the pandemic hit. We all went back to our homes. It was hard for Sia to live with her family and all. Her accumulated stress also led to seizures.
Oh no, Sia can't catch a break,
She's
man.
nothing is going right for this
no,
poor girl.
Jeez. Ugh.
And now we have a story talking about her.
Now all of her troubles are posted on Reddit.
Thank you, Internet. She had to eat at a certain time or she might get seizures. We didn't talk much during that time. We rented it looks like a 1-bedroom, I'm guessing.
I think so.
1 BHK, 1 bedroom, in February of 2021 and started living together. I would cook meals on time, so she never had an empty stomach. But one day it took me longer because we had a hangover and she had seizures.
Well, that's not your fault. She should be feeding herself.
No, yeah.
She should know how to take care of herself if she knows.
It's good that you're helping her,
Yeah.
but that is ultimately her responsibility.
Yeah.
She knows she's having the seizures. She knows she needs to eat. So that at that point is on her.
Exactly.
I was so afraid, contacted her sister who's a nurse and followed her instructions. After that, I would always look after her and come home so she's not alone. We also planned our dream vacation, which we had planned since 2015. I forgot to mention, we made a plan and she convinced her father and applied to a course in hospitality management in December 2020. During her first exam, she was so nervous that she was literally shaking. I had to help her take photos and make a PDF of her answers. It was an online exam. She later told me she was planning on self-harm, but couldn't. Hearing that broke my heart, and I made her promise to never think of something like that ever again.
That's so sad because like I understand what OP's trying to do, but that is not the way to help. I mean, like it's not your small. Again, you are not equipped to help her in that moment, but that's like
Based on
you can't just tell people to not think about it. It doesn't work.
Based on OP's telling, like they're doing everything that they can.
Yeah, they just don't have the
it's not their responsibility to fix Sia's situation and their mental health.
And they've been trying like their whole friendship to do this.
She also broke up with her boyfriend during that time of April 2021. I would often say bad things about my fiance, like we're not happy or he's also not understanding, even though he is. Okay, this is not good. Don't lie about your fiance. But he understood and didn't say anything. Sadly, the second phase of the vid started, and we had to move back to our hometown again. She had to deal with her breakup alone. I tried to call her as much as I could. We would speak 3 to 4 hours a day. She was in better shape than before, but pleaded with me to move with her again because her college started. She was not confident living with others and afraid of letting her college roommates know her age. But I motivated her to get rid of her insecurities, and if someone wants to be her friend, they would. To be honest, I didn't have any reason, but I convinced my parents that I'd take preparations and also find a job to support myself. I found a job in December 2021. She didn't come on the day and arrived much later. We rented in the same building, but on a different floor, so I had to move everything by myself. In October 2022, she started dating a guy many years younger than her. She was 25, 26, and he was 20, 21. He was the first person she shared her secrets with aside from me, her ex, and my fiance. I supported her because I believe it will help her regain some of her confidence. Do you think that that's too big of an age gap? Like 20 to 21 versus 25 to 26? It's a little bit.
As a 23-year-old, I wouldn't date a 22-year-old. But I don't think 25 and 21 is crazy because I think, you're out of college.
But part of it is that they're starting college again, both of them at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a bit of a time difference there, but they're still kind of in the same stage of life. It's
That's
not like
the thing. I think stages of life is
she
pretty
graduated and he's still in school.
Yeah.
They are starting over again.
Yeah.
Kind of together.
Yeah, I don't think this is crazy.
Okay. That's where her problems started. She started getting obsessed with him.
Oh no.
Her life finally started to flow. She met new friends who were 4 to 5 years younger than me and her, and she spent more time with them. As I mentioned earlier, I don't have an outgoing personality, so I was a bit insecure. I'm not going to lie, but I didn't say so. I let her enjoy her life after so many years of stress and anxiety, as a good friend should do. During our time in the new home, I would cook and she would clean the dishes, but she would never clean the room. Most of the time, she would either go home or stay at one of her friends' houses. I was actually having a rough year in 2022. My new job was pretty stressful and I would often suffer from something. One time, she knew I had a fever. She was staying out that night. The next day, she came to our room, took her things, and went back to her friend's place. She asked me if she should stay. I said no, because her friend was waiting for her. I'll never forget that day.
Wait, what?
I think maybe OP expected her to take care of her.
Okay, but she said no.
But I think that was like that, no, don't leave me
yeah,
here.
but okay.
Don't stay with
That's
me.
so childish
But
to
also,
be like,
it's like,
no,
you have a
but you should
fever.
stay.
You have a fever. I don't want to get your fever.
Exactly.
I can help you, but like I don't want to do that.
I mean,
And
she
also
offered
said,
to stay and you said no. It's like if you wanted her to stay or you needed help,
don't play the game.
Yeah, don't be coy and like, come on.
If you need the help, ask for the help.
Yeah, what do you mean
please.
you'll never forget the day? She hasn't done
Although,
anything wrong in that
again,
situation.
I think culturally, there might be a thing against asking for help. I cried the whole night and confronted her. We made up.
That's ridiculous.
Cut to March 2022. She was in her second year and had to do internships. She didn't have much formal clothes, so she would wear mine. I would wake up at 7 to make our lunch, so we'd eat at least one home-cooked meal. I would do all the grocery shopping, buy dinner, handle our landlord, bills, and almost everything, which was hard because we were supposed to split it.
Oh my goodness.
It was little things, but they had a big impact. She would come to me if she had any problems. Otherwise, spend her times with her new friends. Like one day, she had to take IV drops in the midst of her internship at a hospital, and I went to release her as her guardian. Another time, she lied to her supervisor that her eldest sister had an accident, who didn't even exist, and put me on a call without context.
That's actually kind of funny, though.
There's also another day. She had a seizure when me and my fiance were having a date. See, I don't mind doing these for her, but after a certain time, it felt one-sided. She would even copy things me and my fiance did as a couple, like our intimate moves that I have shared with her or some cute photo and share or show it to me, which felt creepy because she was not like that before. I feel like she's being.
That's
She's-
like your whole life. What are you
Yeah,
talking
you're
about?
like, at this point, you're sisters.
Yeah, you shaped her. You formed her into you.
You introduced her to
Yeah.
non-touch tone telephones
Yeah,
and
yes,
corn.
And corn.
I had a very hectic 9-hour job with minimal pay. So I wanted to sleep early around 11 p.m. to wake up early. But she would talk to her new boyfriend and take a long time to make the bed, which irritated me. Plus, she would talk to her boyfriend for hours at night, keeping the
Because
lights
they're in
on.
the same room. I was
Yes.
like, what? Okay, yeah.
Things went like this for a few months, and then she said she wanted to move to a new place for her studies. I said fine because I was also getting tired. She wanted to have her own room and tried to convince me to rent a 2-bedroom with her. Frankly, I didn't have the money, so I said no, and I just moved back to my old PG. She couldn't find any rooms and decided to rent the room next to ours. 1 month later, I got a new job with a much higher salary and decided to stay in my room because the PG said they didn't have any empty beds. Anyway, we planned our vacation with me, Sia, her sister, and her college friend because obviously I don't have friends who would go with me on a trip. You have Sia.
Yeah.
What about, where is your fiance?
Yeah.
What happened to him? Why won't he go on this dream vacation?
Where is
with
he?
you?
Yeah.
Does he even exist?
Yeah, if he's like, yeah, Sia told me to stop hanging out with him, so, haven't seen him in a while.
He was in her head all along. We went on our dream vacation on December 10th. On the last day, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, after I got on the train, my dad called me and said my brother got into an accident and broke 2 bones above his wrist, but the doctors couldn't perform surgery due to his high blood sugar levels. February 15 was Sia's birthday. I was panicking and she tried to support me. We went to sleep and we celebrated her birthday on the train as best as I could. I couldn't sleep that night, and after we arrived, I called my dad to confirm if everything was fine, then took a few hours of sleep. Sia's boyfriend and sister had planned a small party for her and asked me to participate. I was not in the mood, but I still went to the room next door and stayed the entire time. At my new job, I explained my situation and said I would have to take a few more days off. Then I went back home to see my brother the next day and stayed there for the next 2 days. His sugar level was still high and the doctor could not operate. During those 2 days, everyone, like those I don't often talk to, spoke to me and asked about my brother's well-being. But my best friend only asked if I could explain to her how her sister could go to a particular location. Are they best friends now or are they not best friends now?
I don't know. You said at the beginning you weren't best friends, but maybe like by
Maybe
this time
they have to be.
they've got to be best friends.
They have to.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just shocked and said no and hung up. I was so tired and just didn't want to talk to her. I didn't even after coming back. She approached me and I just said pleasantries and that was it. She somehow understood and stopped talking to me completely, to the point where she would shut the door even if she saw me. Anyways, I was feeling pretty sad and thought of making up. On my birthday, she posted a photo of me saying how I was a good friend to her and wanted the best things for me, so I thought of sharing my birthday cake with her through my landlord. She rejected it.
Oof.
By the way, you don't have to reject this offer because you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with cake, which you can reject through your landlord.
Yeah.
There's another relevant update here, but let's take a minute to dissect this.
I think they're both bad at communicating.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they both made mistakes on either side of this long friendship.
Right.
And I think OP's just not really,
I think that they're just kind of, neither of them has made truly terrible decisions.
Yeah.
But they haven't made the best decisions.
Exactly. I think they're
And
just super
being
codependent.
Yeah, they're just being human.
Yeah.
Like no one, I don't think anyone here is really at fault.
No, I feel like I could say like everyone kind of a little bit here.
But no one's really done anything
No one's like an
to
a-hole.
hurt anybody.
Yeah,
you
I don't
know?
think anyone's an a-hole here. I think they're just like not really great friends in terms of just like they're friends, but they're just not good at being friends.
Yes. They're good friends,
Yeah.
but they're not good to each other.
Exactly.
They are moderately okay to each other.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore. I made a recording of everything I've done for her and how selfish she is, used some bad words as well, and cut her off from my life.
Yeah.
This is so extra.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I didn't mention, but did for her during 2019 to 2023 because my hands are tired. Let me know if anyone wants to know more. I would like to know more. So, am I the a-hole for breaking off a friendship over my brother's accident?
I don't know. It seems like you guys just never have conversations about these things. Like you had
No.
that one conversation where you were like, "You didn't stay when I was sick," and every other time you've both just like held it in and not talked about it.
Yeah.
But that is the end of that story.
My husband's friend never leaves. I just need a break.
Sounds like a party of 3 might be happening soon.
My husband and I just got into another fight because his best friend who comes over every Wednesday is again staying the night. My husband and this friend have a Wednesday night date where the guy comes over to our house to jam every week for the last 2 years. And I'm getting to the point that I want to hit the guy over the head with whatever is closest at hand every time he has around. By the way, this comes from MEGA. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So buckle up. This is going to be a long one. If you want make it through all of this, you are my hero. We will be making it through all of it. So
we're your hero.
We're heroes. At first, he was supposed to come over just for a few hours on Wednesday nights to play guitar with my husband while I was at work. Over time, I have stopped working late Wednesdays, but the jam session continues. They're jamming with each other. They're creating their jams.
Strumming that drum.
Strumming that drum. Jamming that jam, which is fine. However, for the last year, they have barely touched the guitars.
And
what are they touching? Oh, no.
Is that code? Is the guitars code?
And instead, the guy comes over into it either. But we aren't morally against it, so we didn't say anything early on when we should have. Now that he is always on that devil's lettuce, he never leaves, and at the end of the night, he just expects to sleep over.
Interesting. Weird dynamic.
Yeah.
How's his home life?
Also, like, why is he going over just to smoke?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. He's like, he smokes and just sleeps there.
That's what I'm thinking, because
it's like drinking alone when you go over to your friends.
With your friends, like, in the corner, like,
yeah.
You okay? Because, like...
Are you that friend? Riley's that friend that doesn't drink and is in the corner, is worried about it.
I've done that a lot.
He doesn't have a regular sleep schedule, so instead of sleeping while we are, he is wandering around our house all night in his boxers, making noises, watching TV, and getting non-stop text alerts from other friends, etc. At the very least, turn off your phone, dude.
Yeah. In your boxers?
In your boxers, letting the junk sway every which way. It's like man's running, and I just hear the slap.
At least put some boxer briefs on. Like,
yeah, come
please.
on. Like keep it. Leave nothing to the imagination.
Listen,
but
it's aerodynamic, okay?
Yeah, at least you don't have to listen to it. So he's making noises, watching TV, getting nonstop text alerts. This always wakes me up, and I have to pass by him on the way to the bathroom. At these points, he always makes demands like, I want to watch this random movie your husband said you had. Find it for me. Or, you need to change your litter box right now because your cat just pooed and I can't stand the smell. Maybe you should go home.
Yeah, like...
Maybe you should go. If you don't
can't stand
the smell, there are places you could go. Like away.
Yeah, dude. This...
He always says he'll leave when my husband goes for work at 8 a.m., but then complains that he couldn't sleep until 6 a.m., so he ends up sleeping until midday, at which point he just decides to stay until my husband gets home from work, and then the whole thing starts over again.
Can we please get to the part where you speak up and say something?
Yeah, because I also think as soon as she says like some kind of boundaries, we may get some kind of sob story.
Yeah.
Because there's like why is he doing this all of a sudden? He's probably smoking, like cope with something, and he's probably being around your husband who's his friend because he's going through something, and maybe the husband hasn't put his foot down yet because he understands the context that maybe the wife doesn't have. That is my conspiracy theory, but I would love to know what you guys think.
Yeah, like, why is the husband... I haven't heard anything about the husband at all. He's just
he hasn't put any boundaries. He hasn't explained anything. He's just like, I want to freaking hang.
All right, here's a ladder, bro. Have fun.
At which point he just decides to stay, and the whole thing starts over again. What's supposed to be one night a week often turns into at least 2 every week. On top of never leaving, he has started showing up hours before my husband gets off work on Wednesdays. My husband has told him, my home is your home. Mi casa, su casa. So he just comes right in. Boundaries. But no, he comes in and will just walk into our bedroom where I'm hiding. So sit down on the bed, take a hit of his crap, and start talking to me through whatever I'm doing / watching on TV.
Absolutely not. No.
Every time he is here, he eats a lot of our food, gets the munchies plus regular meals, but never once has had the courtesy to bring anything of his own or to share or to replace what he's eating here. He just goes into our fridge and pantry and eats whatever he wants because my husband told him our home was his husband.
Do you guys have like a trauma bond or like go way, way back? Do you owe him something?
Yeah, dude. Does he owe you money or something?
What?
Yeah, I wonder, not that this is
on OP entirely or at all, but like at what point I feel like OP is saying all this and still hasn't said anything.
Yeah, where's the line? Because the line is where my bedroom starts.
Yeah, the line has been crossed so much, and OP, like, speak up for yourself. This is weird.
You're proactively hiding from him in your own bedroom. And he barges in.
Yeah, it is like of all boundaries, your room should be the most pristine boundary that is upheld. Yeah. But he's bulldozing past that.
He didn't even knock.
He didn't even knock.
Isn't it just the worst when
you could be having some personal me time?
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, he just goes into our fridge and pantry, eats whatever he wants because my husband told him our home was his. My husband is always begging me to be nice and not say anything while he is here because he is lonely and needs friends.
Okay, go to his house.
Yeah. Also, he needs friends, plural, not friend. He needs friends that he can cycle through instead of staying at your place 2 days out of the week. He needs like 14 friends.
Agreed.
New friend circle.
New friend circle. Because he is here to except he has his other best friend living with him and is constantly going on weekend trips all over the country to visit his other friends. He has friends. Not to mention those nonstop text message alerts all night. Dealing with this guy is like hanging out with a 17-year-old stoner no stop. He farts, he burps as loud as possible, wherever, whenever. He's demanding and needy, but completely rude at the same time, saying things like, dude, you actually made your house look sort of nice for the week. As I was prepping for Christmas. And so do you sometimes make an effort on your looks? Oh my God, he even said that thing.
No.
Do you sometimes make an effort on your looks?
Stop it. Stop right now.
You look.
We're
Oh
done.
my
We're
God.
done. Husband, get him out, please.
When I had gone somewhere nice and come home with makeup on, he also complains nonstop about the food I make, yet eats it all anyway. This year, for my birthday, we couldn't afford to get any gifts, so I asked my husband instead to line up his days off so we could spend 4 days just us together. Then, this guy broke up with his girlfriend, and my husband begged me to let him come over just for a bit on the first evening. Husband, you're not going to have a girlfriend or wife if you keep this up. You're just going to have your stoner friend.
If this happens, I'm packing up and going to my girlfriend's house. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to my parents, girlfriends, don't care. I'm not spending an evening with them.
Yeah. So 2 full weeks of him not going home, and he's demanding all of my husband's time. I spent our time and my birthday. Remember the 4 days that he had?
Yeah.
And my birthday holed up in our room alone.
No.
What's the husband then doing? The husband's a moron.
I mean, the husband has not set boundaries, which is despicable. It is despicable not to set boundaries. That's crazy. OP has not talked to the husband, which, the husband should be setting the boundaries for the friend.
Yeah.
For sure. That's his responsibility. But I think it's OP's responsibility to set boundaries with the husband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask, who do you have a conversation with first? Like your husband or just straight?
A husband, because it's his friend. He should.
Yeah, and he keeps inviting him over.
Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy. Well, Christmas comes. I had invited my whole family to our house and tried to make things extra special because it was the first time I got to see my parents on Christmas in more than 10 years.
Oh my God.
This guy's mom had just moved to another state, but this guy has plenty of money and no job to work around, so he could have easily made the trip to her for Christmas, but he didn't. And his other friend/housemate also went out of town, and he threw a whole "woe is me, I'm all alone on Christmas Eve and no one loves me" tantrum until my husband invited him to our house. He shows up, gets high, and is a complete booty to everyone, then throws a fit when he decides to sleep over because he has to sleep on the couch in a sleeping bag. My family were in the other beds. The next morning, we sit down to breakfast, and he lets out this is crazy. This huge stinky fart right at the table like it's nothing. Full eye contact while doing it too. He's just like,
and then blame it on OP.
This dinner's delicious.
OP, why would you do that?
Wow, this is going right through me. Then proceeds to dish himself up 90% of the food and just generally be a My family was flat out disgusted by him and his behavior and couldn't wait to leave. He stayed for 3 days. I feel like a butthole because he is my husband's best friend and I don't want to make them not hang out. And honestly, he hasn't done anything truly terrible. He's just annoying as crap. I effing dread every Wednesday. And then I'm super irritated the whole time he's here, which I hide from him at my husband's request. So your husband knows? But then my husband and I always end up fighting over him not leaving. So there has been conversations. OP has been having conversations. I'm honestly 1 or 2 Wednesdays away from unaliving this guy. And all this I've told you is just the tip of the iceberg. If you made it this far, please tell me, am I the a-hole for being upset at my husband for letting this guy stay over again tonight and wanting a substantial break from his best friend. Thank you all for our overwhelming response. I haven't been able to reply all of you, but I want you to know I've read every post and appreciate all your opinions, even the ones calling me a shrew and your great advice. There is an update.
Really?
But what do you guys think? What do you guys think we should do here? OP's boundaries are being crossed. She has had a conversation with the husband. The husband has not had a conversation with the friend. OP hasn't had a conversation with a friend. I guess starting with, is OP the a-hole?
OP's the a-hole to herself, I think. Because I'm in the territory, I know you don't like ultimatums. I'm in the territory of ultimatum. Hey, we've agreed to have him over once a week. Well, we're going to come back to this, maybe 2 nights a week. We're going to come back to this. And if that isn't met, I'm going to stay with someone else. Because it's all bark, no bite.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to stay with someone else maybe is because I was like, oh, how can she get out of that situation, but it not be like so divorcey? And I think saying I'm going to stay with a friend or stay with a sister.
Exactly.
I feel like that would feel better. So, clarification 1. As someone pointed out, there isn't much of an action here for me to ask, am I the a-hole about? I'm sorry I didn't make it clear originally. The question is, am I unreasonable in being a butthole for wanting a break from having this friend over? No, you're not an a-hole. My husband and I fought over this last night and he feels I'm being overly upset and needlessly irritable at said friend. You've already read how I feel about it. In clarification 2, this post admittedly doesn't give much positive about the friend. His friend has been in my husband's life since he was in grade school, and while the friend is over, they do actively chat, watch movies, and generally hang out while I actively hide and feel irritated. All this stuff for sure could look like an exaggeration if it all happened in the last few days, but this is sort of my laundry list of the last 2 years of grievances, which have been building up over time. 2 years.
Oh, dude, no.
On a regular Wednesday, he is just baked, flatulent, and childish, which while annoying, isn't really actively. Also, let's add douchey to the list. He has done some very nice things for my husband, such as paying to take him to some very expensive concerts, and they both nerd out over their favorite guitar players live. I clearly don't like the guy, but my husband gets a lot of enjoyment out of their friendship, and I'm not just saying that he has to stop like being friends with him, just that I need a break. Also, my husband does have other friends. They just have lives, so he only gets to hang out with them once every few months. He's also in a band with other friends who he sees regularly Monday night. In clarification 3, my husband doesn't see a problem with how he speaks to me because according to him, the guy just has poor social skills. That comment about your makeup was a compliment. In clarification 4, he has a vape style pen, not a physical bud, which has less residual scent, and is why my husband told him he could do it in the house. Before he started using, I was okay with it. He had poor manners, but he wasn't nearly as bad as he is now, and he never spent the night or longer. Back before the devil's lettuce, I even enjoyed hanging out with the two of them every so often. Oh, and I know my husband also occasionally imbibes with him, which isn't something that makes me mad. He just doesn't go overboard like his friend.
Okay, so they're smoking a little bit together. After hearing these clarifications, maybe even a separation.
I don't want to move to separation yet. But I do feel, we're not making a lot of great moves here.
Yeah. Home is where the heart is, and you don't want to be stressed out in your own home.
Yeah.
Well, we got an update. So when I woke up this morning, I noticed that my phone was buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. All these awesome comments kept pouring in. I have never had so much success on Reddit. So when I looked and saw how many comments there were, oh my God. Of course, my husband asked what was wrong. And I said, I told the internet the story of blank and asked if I was the butt for what we fought over last night. And he said, oh, that was it. So then on his way out of the bedroom, he said, I'm going to get him up. By the time I was dressed and out of the room, the guy was out of the house driving away. Hallelujah. I don't know if we want to sing our praises yet because that's just one time. Is this actually going to change,
Yeah. Did he clear the house so he could have a fight with you? That's what I'm feeling.
40 minutes later, when he got to work, I received a text message telling me how I was his best friend and that he loves me more than the world, etc. And we texted back and forth. Like this is the husband saying. And he said, I really feel like we both contribute to it. I feel like you are overly grumpy on things pertaining to blank, but at the same time, I invite him to come up extra days or stay the night without running it by you. I feel we could both do better and relieve a lot of stress and frustration. Do you agree? How do we feel about that?
Having a productive conversation about the situation?
I think this is more productive. I feel like he's like
finger somewhat.
Yeah, he's like
it's on both of us.
It's on both of us. I don't know. Well, how do you guys feel about the on both of us? I don't know if
it should have been on me first.
Yeah, and then let OP say, "Oh, I'm overreacting." Don't speak for her.
Yeah.
He then called a few minutes later and I told him that I know I'm grumpy, but I feel like it's reasonably so. I also told him I don't want to force them not to be friends, but I just need a break from that friend. And if you ever need a break from your friends, come be friends with us. By listening to full episodes of stories just like this, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update. But what do we think about this apology in quotes?
Feels manipulative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just... It doesn't.
It's the gaslighting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to just jump into the gaslighting term, but what it does feel like is it feels like he is not fully accepting what he's done wrong, and he's pointing blame on OP, so he doesn't have to fully just apologize. It doesn't feel like if I go and say,
it's a
Riley,
half-butted apology.
Yeah, it's like, sorry for eating your peanut butter, but you left it in a place that I was going to eat it.
And I could reach
and I think we both could do better. You can put it a little higher and I cannot eat it. It's like, that's not an apology.
That is how it sounds like.
That's not an apology.
Yeah.
Right? Then I gave him some possible solutions, such as hanging out at his house every other week, or have set time that the guy needs to stop doing the devil's lettuce in order to drive home later. Thanks, guys. Great suggestions. And he agreed to consider other arrangements with a hangout time so that I could have some time away from the friend. And we agreed to talk more about it when he is off work tonight. Although I can tell he still isn't seeing a problem other than my attitude. Again, thank you to everyone who has commented. Hey! You know what? Not great, but better because of the communication. Better. It's not great, but it is better.
It's not the attitude thing. The reason you feel this way is because he's always around and he doesn't respect. I don't know. I just hope he doesn't come back as much.
Yeah.
We ended our friendship 6 years ago, but I'm still mad about it.
I mean, maybe you should be.
Am I the a-hole for still being angry over a friendship breakup from 6 years ago? The friendship lasted 1 month? Some backstory, my boyfriend and I started dating around 7 years ago. Prior to this, he was vibing with this girl, let's call her Katie. So Katie expressed feelings to him that she just wanted a platonic relationship with him, nothing romantic. By the way, this comes from Tiasha1108 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. At this time, my boyfriend was 17. A few weeks later, we started dating. Being immature, I saw her tag him in a Facebook post and called her out on it. She swore at me and blocked me. A year later, she created a new Facebook and added me on it, my boyfriend as well. I was thrown off as I thought she hated me. I had done some introspection and realized I was wrong for calling her out. Realization of my boyfriend can have female friends. That's not me. Yada yada. I messaged her and apologized for my behavior. We exchanged numbers and got to talking. I found out that she was actually quite chill and we got along nicely. Katie comes from a wealthy family and didn't hesitate to hide that fact. However, she had major family issues, which she would mention on surface level and not divulge into. One night, she was telling me about how she likes to draw attention to herself. So I was like, cool, you're an attention seeker. She got pissed and blocked me. A year later, I find out she had messaged my boyfriend around like 1 a.m. Crap went down with her dad, and apparently she always reached out to boyfriend when stuff like that happened. She sends him an Instagram request. I messaged her because I felt that was not cool. I'm still blocked, but she messages my boyfriend? Being naive, we started talking again. This time we're like a house on fire. However, I felt like me being in a good relationship and her not being in any relationship made her jealous.
Yeah, she was completely alone.
She was really
and
freaking alone.
No one would ever like her.
I was in a really good relationship and she was alone, so I thought she was kind of like
I'm kind of better. I don't know if you know what that means, but it's like me, you.
She would start comparing ourselves to each other. I did not like that, especially since we come from different backgrounds. Then one day she said that she found people who kissed their SO or held hands in public, especially in front of older people, cheap. We're Indians, so those are her cultural views. I made my disagreement very apparent. The next day, she apologized and said those aren't even her views. I was very confused about that, but continued being friends with her because we got along well. No,
bro, she is very jealous of this boyfriend that she rejected.
Also,
as a reminder, she's like, let's be platonic.
I did not have any other close friends, so you could say I was kind of desperate. At the time, she had another best friend. I say another because she would also call me her best friend. Thing is, she would trash talk this girl. Let's call her Tatum. So Katie would trash talk Tatum, but she would also status her, calling her her best friend and saying all the wonderful things that Tatum is as a person. Meanwhile, she would be sending me screenshots describing Tatum as being a bad friend. Katie also had a crush on this guy. Let's call him Dexter. The relationship that Katie had with Dexter reminded me of the one she had with my boyfriend. Oh, I forgot a part. After my boyfriend and I started to date, she messaged him about how replaceable she felt and how he didn't even fight for her. My conclusion is that she still had feelings for him. Anyway, she did the same thing with Dexter. He loved her, wanted to pursue her, but she didn't want that. He moved on. She complained about it and how she could have dated someone else while she pined for him, yada yada. The breaking point this time was that she would constantly act like she knew my boyfriend better than me. Just because she knew him first, I expressed that. We stopped talking for a while. She messaged out of the blue, ignoring everything that happened. I told her I had already deleted her number. We stopped talking. On Facebook, Tatum and her would share memes and make fun of me. She shared stuff that I told her in confidence. One being that she would always be buying clothes and send me pictures of it. I expressed that I feel bad because I can't do the same because I'm still in college. So a meme and a caption regarding that was shared. When I played the same game, I got blocked. My fault is that, if you remember at the beginning, I said that I was desperate for a friendship like this. I messaged her on Snapchat. We still had each other on there. She was cold, rightfully so. I recognized my desperateness and moved on. A year later, yeah, everything happens a year later, it was the vid. I was studying from home, too much time on my hand, and I started thinking about all of this and had messaged her via Instagram. Spoke truthfully about how our friendship had made me feel and wished for her safety during. She sent a message back and I was blocked. She started studying the same course as my
Why are they
boyfriend.
blocking
I don't
everywhere?
know. And while scrolling through Facebook one day, we saw that she had asked to buy secondhand textbooks on a group that he was on. I told him to offer his to her. He had messaged and the chat was pretty chill. Prior to this, we had seen her at a morning market. She hadn't confronted us about anything, which was so strange. Anyway, he had asked if it was in fact her, and she said yes, it was, and that she had seen us too. She ended the conversation very abruptly, saying that regarding her and my past, she's wary. He had replied that we're all grown and mature and wished her luck with her studies. A month later was my graduation. Katie and I have a mutual friend that I had made through Instagram, and we didn't even know until deep into the conversation. He had put, a Facebook status. This didn't sit right with me, as I didn't feel that he should be blocked because of me. A month later, I messaged her about this. She replied and then blocked me. By this time, I was completely done with her and didn't give her a second thought. This time, it was different. We were 22 and 23. We're adults. And that was not a very adult way of handling a situation. A few months later, which was last year, October, she messaged me and my boyfriend and the mutual friend. She apologized to all of us, saying how immature she was and that she forgives us. I asked her if she's gonna block me now that she's said what she wanted to. She says no. I told her how it made me feel that she threw shade on me on Facebook. She said she swore she doesn't remember doing that. It made me question if she actually really did. Girl, what do you mean it made you question? You saw them. I made a stupid mistake of following her on Instagram. She followed back.
Stop following each other.
Stop it. At the time, I had made great friends on campus. I was doing well. One of my friends had revealed some stuff about her boyfriend to me. I had come across an appropriate video on TikTok, put it up on my story, and tagged her. It was something about people asking for forgiveness, but you already told your best friend about it. In the next 5 minutes on Katie's story, she had typed about being blamed for throwing shade online when the person blaming her is the one throwing shade, and that God knows all and sees all. I reevaluated and could see how my story could have been perceived as it being about her. I messaged her to clear the air, as we were not very neutral and I did not want things to go back to bad blood. She gaslit me and said that stuff she puts up are sometimes about things that happened years ago and she now remembers and it's not about me. I stooped to her level and put a story up about not being gaslit. Some quote with a caption about being gaslit. She removed me as a follower and unfollowed me. Honestly, fair.
Dude, fair, but
Fair.
don't add
Don't
her back.
add her back.
This is an abusive friendship right now.
I hate it. It just keeps going back and forth. This is exhausting.
Ugh.
By the way, you know what's not exhausting? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there's a little bit left to the story. Do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, my biggest thought
What's your
is
biggest
my
thought?
big bad
What's your biggest thought and what's your smallest?
All right, my smallest thought.
Let's start there.
All right, my smallest thought is I don't know if we should be having so much communication across different platforms with one person. Choose one platform to communicate to one person. Don't spread your stuff across TikTok and Instagram and just use one. I don't want to have to go to every platform to see what you're saying to me.
Earlier this year, I made a friend through religion. She added me on a group chat. It was nice and very peaceful. Lo and behold, guess who joins and messages on said group chat? Katie. I immediately leave the group chat and I messaged my friend and told her that Katie and I don't see eye to eye. She tells me that she and Katie had also had run-ins. She removed Katie from the group chat. Dang, just like that? That was really quick. I find myself now blocking and unblocking her and sometimes looking up her profile. Am I the a-hole for being so angry with her? I think this anger is actually love.
Yeah.
And you're in love with
I
her.
think you're in love with her.
If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And
see you tomorrow.